Ambitious with the score, he can get it in. Passes for the win!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the grand final event, the Throwdown.
It's the Throwdown Thursday main event. He's a little carried away. We've been doing this for 3 days.
Excited.
Rich needs a break.
I'm too excited. Throwdown Thursday,
Drink
yes.
some smart water.
You know what? This is Filthy Rich. Again, let me start over. We're live over here from Amazon Game Studios, Orange County. It's been 3 days of absolute craziness from all these different Coke teams that have been coming in, and it's all winding down to this final event. It's not only that, but there's a bunch of other stuff that we've been doing throughout the course of these 3 days, and Dave's going to kind of lead us into this.
All right, everybody. Like Rich said, I'm Mr. Sill. Couldn't be happier to be here. We're raising tons of money for charity. This is the Coca-Cola Game-a-thon, the 3rd annual Game-a-thon. It's the first time ever Coca-Cola featured one game for all 3 days. This game is Breakaway. Let's take a quick look back as to how we've been doing. Tonight's matchup is between Coca-Cola and Team Diet Coke. Here we go, CDFN, trying to make a push, does get stopped though, but no, picked up by OP, can OP get it in? No, he gets intercepted by Anthony, saving the day. Hey, OP picking up the relic, pushing it up the center of the field, trying to make a throw, gets it, he scores! One quick hit for the red team. Ian Branding trying to push it up the left side though, does get stopped as we see OP being in a defensive position. Team Diet Coke pushing up the left side, it's General Death, throws it, does he score? He scores!
Oh my goodness, look at that, the fadeaway shot.
Mr. McStabby moving up the left side. Will he be able to secretly score? No one even knows he's doing it. What is that? Completely right in the back door.
Mr. McStabby, so subtle in his ninja-like movements.
All right, General Death pushing up, about to throw. Does get stopped by Fairlight Excalibur. He's doing last-minute defense. Nice charge throw, and there it is. Look at that. Doing a great ability, taking advantage of the fact that Just has the range ability with that Rollins character, doing everything he can, but the blue team there, Coke Life, trying to get the rebounds as much as they can, sacrificing themselves, lots of men going down there on the red team on Coke Zero's side. Coke Zero is able to save it. He's got 3 seconds left to go. As you see a nice pass there from space to Voyboy. Voyboy trying to throw it in the rug, is able to score!
Oh my goodness, let's not, okay, so Voyboy got an amazing pass.
Great teamwork there. Voyboy picks up the relic, goes up the left side there. He's getting chased by his fellow teammate who's caught in jail, Rich. Long charge throw, and there it is, Rich.
Voyboy for the long toss.
17 seconds left to go. The relic is almost there. Allie picks up the rebound. Can Allie get it? No, she gets hit by it in the last second. We see last-ditch efforts, and there it is. Voyboy dashing it in at the last second. All right, we see Space Ace there. Oh, a team wipe. Look at that.
I think the team is getting gassed.
All right, here we go. Space Ace is about to be a hero, win it for his team. Space Ace dashes, Space Ace runs right in. There it is, Rich. The game set and match. All right, so that was a quick look at the action that's happened over the past 2 days here at the Game-a-thon. We did our seeding matches. We see there that #1 seeds are going to Coke Zero and Diet Coke. So we're raising money for charity. That's what it's all about. And there's a couple things you can do to donate. Go to our Game-a-thon page. It's the big red box. You can't miss it. You go on our twitch.tv/play Breakaway page. Look at the big red box. Click that box. Hit donate. I donated today. I feel good about myself. Do it for the kids, everybody. And if not for the kids, do it for, well, here's the page. So we can see we've already raised $36,494. That's amazing. You guys were fantastic. You know, really kicked it into high gear. Our goal is $50,000, though. Hopefully we can do it. Let's give a shout out to some of the people who have donated. We see, well, there's mine, Mr. Sill, Mrs. Sill, Leah,
Yes.
Hannah, and Chewy donated $100, matching my previous anonymous donation. Really putting my money where my mouth is. Double down for the kids. So if you guys want to double down, that'd be awesome. Carlos Custodio donated $15. We see anonymous donation. Well, that was the other one. Another anonymous donation of $15. Joel Leon donated $5. Guys, it doesn't matter how much you donate, as long as you can give something. If everyone watching gave $1, we'd have thousands of dollars additionally going to charity. So just give $1. Coke is matching everything up to $50,000. Right. And if you want to donate $5 or $15, you will get entries to win this amazing PC that Coca-Cola Esports has created. Let's check out this PC. This thing is powered by Coca-Cola. It's an Intel i7 6950X Extreme processor. It's a Core i7. It's got an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 and two-way SLI. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's got 512 SSD, a Hitachi 1 terabyte hard drive. This thing is awesome.
You know, let's not forget the cool part, the fact that there's Coke circulating throughout this entire system, keeping it nice and cool. And, you know, it's definitely one of my favorite features of the whole thing.
Absolutely. So if you want to win this PC, every $5 you donate up to $15 gets you 3 entries to win that PC. Or you just go to the Coke Esports page on Twitter, you retweet that pinned tweet, and that's a free entry for everybody. So again, though, we're really trying to get to $50,000 because if we hit $50,000, Rich, what happens?
First off, I want to call out that there's an exclusive Black Knight skin that we're going to be providing to all the players that are joining us starting today at 6 p.m. So, guys, please help us hit this goal. And again, this is going to be something exclusive for all the players that partake in our events happening today, all throughout the weekend. So take a look at your screen right there. You got to check out the Black Knight right there. I love it. If you haven't already, please, folks, go on over to playbreakaway.com. Register right now. If you do so, you can hop on. You can get the client ready, locked and loaded, and join us at 6 o'clock tonight to start playing some games of good old Breakaway.
Yeah, I think the client is a couple gigs, so start downloading it now.
Yes.
Watch the stream while you're downloading. What better way to pass the time? Donate some money to help the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. We see that Brian Perfetto has donated $25. Patrick Beekner donated $100. Thanks, Patrick. We got Mr. Texas donating $5 too. We talked about him yesterday. A couple people I lift out from the game team, though, who donated money. Belier, Coach Belier donates $50. Thanks,
Hell
Belier.
yes.
Carlos Bustamante donated $100. He said, let's do this. Let's save Mr. Sill, too. That was my final plea to break 10,000. And man, did we shatter 10,000 today. So you guys should all give yourselves a big round of applause. We are doing this not only to feel good about ourselves and help the world. We're doing it to help the children. And what better cause than helping the children, Rich?
So let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening today. Since Tuesday, many of the broadcasters have been coming in, getting their games in and practicing on. But today we're going to be having a lot of matches. So again, the first ones that we're going to be having today are going to be just as hype as the last. So we're going to show you a quick peek of the brackets of all the action that's taking place. Let's take a look at this. So the first match that you're going to be able to see is going to be Coca-Cola versus Coke Zero, as Coke Zero was the winner from yesterday. And in the second, on the lower half, you're going to see Coke Life battling it out versus Diet Coke. So for these early qualifying rounds, the games are going to be played best out of 3. And what we're going to do is that we're going to grab the winners from that. That is going to lead us into our final match, which is going to be a main event over here. And games are going to be best 3 out of 5. Now, from what I've seen, every single one of the players that have been playing Breakaway have been just getting so good at the game in such a short amount of time. Even with the little hiccups that we've been having now and then, these are extraordinary gamers, and I've loved what they've done to the game or what they've been able to do. All this crazy stuff, and you know what? It wouldn't have been brought to us if it wasn't from our awesome sponsors over
Yeah,
at
so let's
Asus.
take a quick shout out to Asus, the official monitor and system provider for Breakaway. Asus and the VG248QE is a 24-inch monitor well known in the competitive scene in esports for its 144 Hz refresh rate with 1 millisecond response time. Let's not forget that G11 desktop sheds light on uncompromising performance. This powerful machine allows you to play Breakaway without compromising your gameplay experience and letting you stream with that perfect quality.
David, I think it's about that time. You know what? Before we get into the team introductions, just in case you haven't already, the button on the description right below is going to basically take you to the spot where you can donate to everything that's going on today. In between rounds and matches, we're going to be calling out to all you extravagant people giving to the cause. But I think it's time, Dave, the people at home.
Yeah,
get ready.
let's introduce the team. So here we go in our first playoff round. Let's look at the Coke Zero team. Coke Zero we have leading off from Toronto. We have our first Canadian here in the Third on Thursday main event. Give it up for KP LOL.
So KP and team were the ones playing in here this morning. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check them out, what they were broadcasting, we saw KP rocking a whole lot of Thorgrim. And I'm kind of excited to see if she's going to be bringing that in again. And, you know, there it is, the
There
whole
she
lot
goes,
of love.
showing the love.
Again, folks, if you're a fan of KP, please give the love, show some support, and hopefully we could see a whole lot of Thorgrim.
Oh, and there he is.
And there it is, you know,
Right on
without
cue,
any
Rich.
doubt. You know, I've seen her do very, very well. A lot of her play style has just been around moving the team forward and being the tank. I've seen her play both lines, moving the Relic forward with the team, but also being on the back line almost as a safety, just making sure that her and her team are able to secure their relay and kind of move forward.
All right, and next to KPLL, we have her friend coming to us from the UK, our first international, well, I guess Canada counts as international, but our first cross-the-pond member on Throwdown Thursday. We have none other than Alice.
You know what? Yesterday we got to see some primo passing between Alice and KP. These two running the duo tank comps has been insanely strong for their team. So I'm very happy to confirm that Alice is going to be bringing in Black Knight.
All right, let's pick up the pace here. In the number 3 slot for Coke Zero, we have none other than Texas native Space AIDS.
You know, Space AIDS has been playing with Rollins, and I've loved his play with Rollins, and I think he has as well. This morning, we might have seen some sandbagging as they were going through the scrims, but right now, if I had to put my money on it, Dave, I'd say that he's going for the hard pick on Rollins. We'll see this.
All right, let's check it
bit.
out. Oh, and there it is, Rich. Look at you.
You know what? His playstyle has been very aggressive, but he's been able to move from objectives to fighting off in different team fights and just moving all around. He's going for that movement speed, which he was talking about during the break, and I'm excited to see if he's going to bring that on the field today.
All right, and rounding out the Coke Zero team, none other than the Vegas boy, the Voy Boy.
You know what, Voy Boy, I don't know if this has been announced yet. I got to give the guy some love. He's been playing so hard for the past 3 days and being so kind to everybody. But it is his birthday, and for today's birthday special, he's going to be bringing out this Spartacus. We've seen a very straightforward attack damage heavy playstyle from Voy Boy. Yesterday, we got to see him go heads up against Whitwick's Spartacus, and today I'm kind of curious what he brings to the table against Team Coca-Cola.
All right, well, let's introduce the challenging team in the, I guess it's either the 3rd or 4th seed. Oh, sorry. Let's introduce the coach. None other than my favorite, Belichick himself. I have to do it every time. There he is, old rusty robot. This guy's amazing.
You know, he's coming off of heat of a win from yesterday, and, you know, it's been pretty tough for him in the series of matches that we've had over here at Throwdown Thursday, but I think this is the team to take him to the road to victory.
You know,
and the guy's amazing as a player, and I think that he's an astounding coach.
He's a great couch too.
He's a fantastic couch. But again, this entire team, the comp that they have, dual tanks, along with high DPS characters such as Rollins and Spartacus, is going to be something to be worried about.
All right, they're the team to beat, so let's look at their competitors. We have going for Team Coca-Cola in the kicking off. We got Fairlight Excalibur coming to us from Portland, Oregon.
Let's talk about this guy. Superstar in my eyes. If he's not teaching me something about the character, he's teaching me something about computers, about things that aren't working on my side, but this guy has been a champion all the way through.
This guy is a true knight. We have put him through the gauntlet through some technical difficulties, and he's been a trooper, so really appreciate to Fairlight. He's been awesome.
And he's going to lock in that Spartacus for today, so I'm very excited to see how Fairlight is going to be going heads up versus Voy Boy in that attack damage carry type of role today.
All right, in the player 2 spot for Team Coca-Cola, we have none other than Cali Girl.
Cali Girl. Who is she going to be picking? All I know is that she has been an amazing supporter of everything that's been happening throughout the past few days. I'm not really sure. I haven't had the chance because I'm with Fairlight for the most part. Let's see who she picks. It looks like it's going to be Alona, the healer. Our first healer for today's first game.
All right, first matchup, first healer. There we go. All right, in the number 3. Wow, let's get it together. In the player 3 spot for Team Coca-Cola, we have the chuckling man himself, my wife's favorite person in the entire Throwdown Thursday Game-a-thon, the best name ever, Mr. McStabby.
Mr. McStabby. We saw it yesterday, the sneakiness from this man as he walked in with his Black Knight while all the crazy stuff was going on. I'm kind of excited to see if he's going to be able to do that again.
He better be playing Black Knight because we named the move after him. It will forever be known as the McStabby. Oh,
wait a second. The change-up looks like last night during their scrims, he found a power that is Thorgrim. Is it the buildables, or is it, again, like, it could just be the tank profile that Thorgrim has and the beard. And right now,
again, matching beards now.
Nothing's going to change the strategy of McStabby. He's a fantastic player, and I'm excited to see him play Thorgrim.
So now the interesting thing is, if he does the McStabby again, is just the move is the McStabby, or you have to do it with the Black Knight?
It's the move. Sneaking in is the McStabby. Right.
And the final member of Team Coca-Cola, none other than Anthony Kong Fan.
You know, this guy from last night, again, one of the few guys that were
playing,
karate chop. You know, working really hard till the wee hours of the night, trying to help money for everything that's going on for Game-a-thon. He was playing Rollins and looks like he's locking in Rollins right now as well. Okay, let's talk about this entire team comp. We have a Spartacus, there's an Alona, we have a Thorgrim, and we have Rollins. So there's going to be a lot of control in terms of buildables, but there's going to be a lot of dependencies on the Spartacus from Fairlight. Now, this is all going to be brought together by their coach, the one and only GL Tovar.
All right, there he is.
Again, this guy is a superstar player as well as a great coach.
Calling out the other coach, Rich.
There's a lot of heat between these two teams, and I'm very excited to see how this pulls through. I think the main difference between the two guys is the fact that right now, Coca-Cola has a healer on their team, and we're going straight damage output and straight tank movement on Team Coke Zero. I don't know who's going to win, but let's check it out right now. Let us know at home. Who do you think is going to take it? Is it going to be Coke or is it going to be Coke Zero? Hit us up in the message. And let's jump right into the match.
And
Here we go.
don't forget to donate, calling out some donations. We got CR Chicago donating $100. Thanks a lot for that. Devin Darling donating $15. Wave Rusher Kobe donating $15. And She the Bee with $25. And Arthur's with $1. Thanks for that $1 donation. Everybody, just give $1. That's all you got to do.
Nice. Okay, let's talk about the matchup right now. Looks like we got a nice split up. Over on Coke Zero, we got a nice split between attack, damage, and armor. So it looks like the team is going to be aggressive while moving that relic. And here we are, the first fight over there as Boy gets knocked out.
All right, we see a nice pass there to KP. KP making the run as Thorgrim. Going over that spike trap. That is a buildable of Black Knight. Since it's on her team, it doesn't affect her. So there is no friendly fire in Breakaway.
Oh, Fairlight was almost able to get that toss out. Would have had a full toss on that, but was luckily hit by the opposite team.
All right, we got Alice there making a charge for the Black Knight. She gets stopped by a retribution from Fairlight. Fairlight, again, going just hardcore on Alice. But Alice is able to withstand it due to that tankiness of the Black Knight. She picks up the relic and is going up to the right side, about to pass midfield.
I do love the decision-making of Fairlight right there, going after the Black Knight this early in the game. Because it's right now, players aren't able to stack all the armor and HP that they need. So it's the one time where Spartacus can actually beat him up.
All right, we see Fairlight trying to take KP, but a nice barrage there from the Rollins character on Coca-Cola. Taking him down. We have both Spartacuses are out of the match now. As we see, Alice tries to pass it, does get intercepted, but ricochets off of the Thorgrim there. Now we got the pass to Space Age. Space Age trying to make a push up center field. He does get stopped. The relic is popped up in the middle of the air. KP throws it forward, but it's caught by Anthony, who makes a nice last stand defense there, clearing the relic for Coca-Cola.
I like what the Light of Judgment did right there from the Alona, just kind of pushing the entire team back. Again, no healer. You got to be very wary of the HP that you and your team have.
All right, here we go. Cali Girl at midfield. She's going up left side. She decides to just wait for her team. She's waiting, doing some nice basketball center action, if you will. She does get stopped by Space Aids, who does pick her off and take the relic and snatching it from her. Going up his side with KP in action there. Watch out for that jail of Rollins. Oh, and KP's caught in jail, but Boy, without skipping a beat, nice pickup of the relic, uses the dash, tries to charge the throw, but it's too far away. As we see there, Thorgrim there from Mr. McStabby using that Ragnarok, picking up the relic, going up the right side now.
See now Space Age trying to force that fumble. Looks like it's going to reset right there. Fairlight has control and is bringing it back towards the center, David.
All right, here we see the action happening now on the field. We have Anthony there. Fairlight picks up the relic. He's going side to side, not to go up the elevators there. He's going midfield now, changing direction, just trying to juke the other team. He is going to decide to go up the elevators.
Fairlight has a chance right here as he goes on the top right. Looks like he's going to have one person to block him, but look at that defense right there by the entire team.
The whole blue team was standing there. Coke Zero doing a nice job there as Space Aids goes off the ramp. That's a buildable from Spartacus. Well placed. Look at that. They're on a breakaway. Nice pass from Space Aids to Voidboy. Voidboy could go all the way. Throws it. Oh, my God, an interception.
Fairlight with the interception is able to put a pause to that score right there. But look at that. The sacrifice. 2 members down on the entire map. Look how close it is.
The rebound trying to get it. He gets it in. Look at that. What an epic move from Coke Zero. Just relentless, Rich.
So clutch. So much happened in the past 10 seconds right there. The interception from Fairlight just completely saving the team, but the relentless pressure by Coke Zero as they're able to go in and look at this. This is the jump in rebound right there. Again by Voidboy. Great first score. Great way to start game 1.
All right. Let's take a look at the net worth, Rich. What is that telling us?
You know, net worth. Let's talk about Anthony over here. Anthony has a level 4 heroic destructible equipment item, and that means that it is going to be very hard for Team Coke Zero to keep their buildable sustained and up.
All right, Space Age leading the charge, goes up to the center field, picks up the relic, does get stopped by Fairlight Excalibur as Voidboy takes the relic and going up to the left side now, changing direction. Maybe he's going to go up the elevator, maybe not. We'll soon find out. He's got to dodge those attacks from that Alona character with Excalibur in the charge. As you see, Space Ace picking up the relic, going to the right side now.
You can see the movement that Void Boy is taking, trying to clear as much as he can, just giving space for Space Aids and team. But right now, Space Aids is able to go in. I love the differentiate.
He's completely unaided. Space
Wait
Aids
a
getting
second.
score right here. There it is. Look at that. Space Aids doing his version of the Mr. McStabby.
So close right there, and I love the attempt by Fairlight. He's been the backline defensive player for Team Coca-Cola, but looks like he dashed a little bit too late. Let's catch the replay. Oh, just off
missed it
by inches. You know, it ain't over. Again, this is going to be a best out of 3, so there's a lot to learn from the opponents that you're going to be playing. And from what I've seen, all players have been getting significantly better the more and more they play. Let's look at these items. There are 2 heroic items over here for Anthony. Fairlight now has his heroic attack damage, and Cali Girl with the heroic cooldown. This could be the turnaround that the team needs.
All right. Fairlight Excalibur placing that ramp that Spartacus buildable #1 goes off it, throwing all the way upfield. He could be completely unaided. Does he pass to Mr. McStabby? He tries to, but Mr. McStabby's in the heart of doing a Ragnarok. It does not get through. The relic is almost there. Can they get it in? We see massive stand happening there at the blue base. Is the red team in? They're able to push it in.
I love the decision. Fairlight went in there earlier, just willing to go in. He saved the dash when he had relic in hand till the very end. I think he believed in himself, knowing that he was going to be able to catch that rebound. Well, watch this. He's going to catch it mid-air and use the dash. That full invulnerability. You know, it's hard to make the decision. Do I really want to use my dash early in the game just to gain positioning, or do I want to save it for that moment? The same way that Fairlight did to score that point. I think that was an amazing choice by Fairlight.
Absolutely, and it's important to know, as soon as you pick up the relic, you have the ability to use that right mouse button. That gives you your glowing white. That's your dash ability. It's a dodge that every character gets when they pick up the relic. As we see there, we have Fairlight picking up the relic, trying to make another push quickly again, as Mr. McStabby and Fairlight doing the 1-2 punch, but they do get stopped by Alice. He's like, that's not going to happen 2 times in a row. Is someone stuck in jail, Rich? Get him out.
Fairlight and his entire team moving forward, and Alice moves and uses that dash, and looks like she's going to try to fight this out 2v1 as Anthony and Mr. McStabby are fighting this off in a tank battle. Looks like it's pretty even between the 2.
Alice is so tanky. Keep going for that relic. But as we see, all of the Coca-Cola team is able to swarm in there. It's not enough. Ali's going to go down. We got Space Ace trying to run cover as much as possible. We have KP now with the relic as Thorgrim going up the right side. It's important to note the way you score in this game, one way to score is you take that relic that Space Ace has and you deliver it in the relay, as we've seen 3 times now, but Space Ace falls off the map.
I think Space Ace looks like he was going for the fadeaway. You know, as David was talking about the 3 ways to win, yes, you can definitely put it in right there for the relay for 1 point. Otherwise, you can kill and completely wipe the other team, and that is another way for you to get a point.
And we'll talk about the 3rd way as clock ticks down with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. Alice pushing up the right side. Nice juke there, get away from Fairlight, but Fairlight catches up. He's using his basic attacks. He just uses a little no retreat action, and he's trying to push the relic to the other side there as Void Boy picks up the rebound. Low on health, though, as he's trying to make his push. He does pass it over to KP. KP trying to do everything she can as Thorgrim using that rib splitter ability to just get everyone away from her, as Alice now using their secondary tank there with the Black Knight. She uses the Thorns ability, bringing everyone in towards her, doing massive damage as it happens. And we see action happening as the Coca-Cola team is just swarming around that relic.
Oh my goodness, look at Fairlight. As you can see, he is on fire. So for every additional opponent that he is able to kill, he is acquiring extra gold. Yes, he's increasing the bounty on his head, but he's making a lot of money.
Fairlight tried to make a push there at the end there. Did get stopped by a Team Coke Zero, as Excalibur getting into the fight now.
Excalibur did a great toss right there, getting on the 2nd step. But right now, you can see the pressure between these 2 teams, and we still have 2 minutes left of the fight, David.
That's right. Alice decides to not go into the fight. Instead, tries to pull a little Mr. McSteevie. We're going to keep it quiet because she tries to sneak in there. Sees she's able to pull it off. She's waiting there for the elevator to go. Anthony doesn't bite, though, but that elevator goes up, and now they're in the high ground. It's just Alice and Excalibur in the back there. You have that Thorgrim Earthshatterer there, though. You got to work about the Wrecking Hammer, rather. We changed the name. As we see Space Ace now able to pick up the rebound. No, it's Alice now pick up the rebound going midfield.
I feel like I have to talk in silence whenever Alice is running roll, so we're going to do a little silent version of commentary.
All right, let's try it.
All right,
Alice
here we go.
passes to Space Ace. Space Ace going up left side. Space Ace passes to KP. KP passes back to Space Ace. It's a volley back and forth. We see that ultimate activated by Alice there from the Black Knight.
And watch again as Alice takes the relic over to the left, now onto the left side of the pillar, but let's call it out. There's a lot of hype going on. Alex now going in, and it's so good to juke every single one of those Rollins shots, but guys, there it is.
60 seconds left to go, Rich. You see at the center line, we have a yellow line has appeared at center field. We're about to see Excalibur cross that yellow line. As long as the relic is in the enemy side, your team will score. As 40 seconds tick down, 47, 46, 45. We have KP trying to push there as Thorgrim. It's a battle of the Thorgrims. Nice use of Ragnarok, the ultimate ability of that Thorgrim character from KP, trying to use the Ram's Head, tossing the other character off the side of the map. As we see McStabby doing the McStabby, does get stopped though by Space Ace. He's not going to fall for it. 30 seconds now to go.
So far, that's looking pretty good for the, oh my goodness, the Coca-Cola team coming from clutch. No, Cali Girl using that blessing of the sun just to heal herself, but she's somehow still alive. Finally goes down.
There's 3 people down on the red team. This could be a team wipe. The other way to win. Anthony's the only one there standing with 10 seconds left to go. And they're going to try to get the score, Rich, as Voidpoint does a huge toss from downtown. Doesn't quite make it. Fairlane has 3 seconds, 2 seconds to get it over the ridge. He's not going to be able to do it, and that is a score for Team Coke Zero.
So the first match point is going to be awarded to Team Coke Zero. Again, folks, this is going to be a best out of 3. And looks like Coca-Cola was turning it up, but Coke Zero is already a round ahead. David, looks like we got some donations coming in from the people. Let's call it out right now.
Michael Don just dropping $50 to help support the children. Thanks, Mike. Freezing Wreck is also donating $15. Thanks for that. We've called out the rest. Guys, if you want to donate, all you got to do is look below the twitch.tv/play Breakaway channel, hit that red box, donate to support the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, brought to you by Extra Life, and help support the local hospital in your region.
That's right. If you guys are watching from your favorite broadcasters hosted channel, they also have individual links as well. There's a race between all the broadcasters over here trying to raise money, and it's been pretty competitive and pretty cool. So please support your favorite broadcaster. Again, it's all going to the same cause. 100% of the proceeds go over to everything that's going on for a Game-a-thon. And again, we love to hear and read about your support.
All right, we have raised a total of $36,755. Let's see if we can pull up each individual streamer's work, because it's been pretty remarkable. Some of these streamers have really gone into overtime and done an amazing job of pulling up just donations. And,
That's right.
And the best news is, it's a competition, sure, it's a friendly rivalry, but in the end of the day, it all goes to help charity, and it all goes to help the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So let's see what we got here. We're going to throw over to DM Brandon. Look at this guy, over $10,000 raised. I mean, that's amazing work there.
Let's call out some of the amazing contributors over here. Will the Ginger donating $15, as well as Grouchy Panda Chris donated. Let's also call out, yeah, go ahead, David. Let's just take this, man.
Let's see his message. It says, here's 15 for the kids from the real West. Don't make me be last, though. And he wasn't, because we got another one saying, we are the many children. We got Jazzman donating $5. Camel Lover made a donation. We don't know how much. That's okay. You don't really need to donate.
Oh, wait a second. I got something over here.
$1 will work.
Jack Your Skill 1 donated $500 saying, what's this? I had more to give. Hashtag for the kids. God bless.
Gotta love that. Thanks a lot to
Looks
Jake
like
Your Skill 1.
Let's pull up another page in just a little bit. Also want to give love to Fencer Brave, who donated $100 saying, okay, what kind of lions are we talking about here? I wonder what they were talking about there.
Oh, we just had another anonymous donation of $50. Thanks for that on our page. Again, all you got to do is go to the Play Breakaway Twitch page, click on the red button. It's a giant red box underneath the screen. If you're watching on your mobile phone, you can click desktop view. Then you can go over there to the little eye in the top right screen. You'll see the button. Click on that. Let's check out CDN the Third. This guy's been raising tons of money. Over $7,000 raised for CDN the Third.
And his goal was $5K. So congratulations to him and his community raising $7,079.
All right.
I think it's time to get back in.
Time to get back in for Game 2. This could be match point there for Team Coke Zero and have them advance to the finals if they're able to pull this off, Rich.
So, you know, it was looking good for both teams. Coke Zero has been solid all the way through. They played very well in their match yesterday. Coca-Cola just needed a little bit more time.
I think they're getting it. I think this match could go Coca-Cola. I was actually very impressed with the ability for them to make some pretty amazing moves, and their buys were incredible.
You know, it was their priority in catching all the gold, and you got to see that right away in the difference from the equipment buys, as well as the net worth difference between the two teams. There was almost 8,000 gold between the two teams, and that showed very well in all the team fights and all the equipment. And here we are, back to Atlantis, Game 2.
And while this is queuing up, don't forget, if you want to play this alpha, you want to play Atlantis, all you got to do is go on playbreakaway.com, click on that big download button, log in with your Twitch credentials. If you don't have any, it's okay. Just hit the tab over to sign up for Twitch, and then bam, you can be starting downloading right now while we're talking, and then you can play in the alpha immediately following Throwdown Thursday.
Looks like we got the standard bread and butter between these two. I love the mirror match between Space Aids and Anthony. Anthony going for a more Debo type of build, while Space Aids wants to just melt and destroy everybody in his path. Over to you, Dave. Let's see what's going on.
All right, Fairlight Excalibur there with the relic. Does get stopped by Voyboy, who's running in there. Nice kick there from Spartacus there. One of Spartacus's abilities is able to use no retreat, just hurls you out of there. And actually, For Glory was what we saw there, where he does a 3-combo hit attack, finding with that powerful kick, kind of all of 300, knocking him off the map in that This Is Sparta moment. As we see Alice now with the relic, charging up the left side, does a nice pass to KP, who's playing as Thorgrim. It's a battle of the tanks, though, as Mr. McStabby comes in there.
I like how the positioning over here by Team Coca-Cola, wanting to force a fight over by their buildables, but they lost one member of the team. Rollins is down, and look at this. Alice and team now moving forward.
All right, there you got that Lighted Judgment. That's the buildable from Alona. It kind of acts as a turret. The longer it's hitting you with that Sun Ray, the more damage you're taking. As KP tries to push up the center, though, does get stopped in the middle of the action. We have the red team coming in there, Team Coca-Cola, as Excalibur on a breakaway, throws the relic to try to get some extra speed, but KP is quick to the draw and able to kind of catch up, as now we have Coke Zero in the mix here as we're fighting center field.
It was a good switch right there by KP, just decided to move back, and look at that, the Ragnarok taking out Alona from that team fight.
All right, we see Alice there playing as the Black Knight. Alice going in center field. Alice with KP.
The dynamic duo, David. Look at these two on the left-hand side, but they're going to have to deal with 3. Here it is, Space Age now coming in for the support, as well as Voyboy.
All right, we have all of Team Coke Zero trying to make this final push here. We have Alice going up, using the dash, though, does get stopped. As the rebound there is there, can they get it? KP using Ragnarok to push everyone away. Voyboy throwing his ultimate.
Wait
and there
a
it is,
second.
look at that!
You can see the last touch right there by Space Age. Even with all that damage, did have his dash saved, and he was able to get that and securing the first point. Let's see, watch him as he goes back, and he's going to use that dash run in. Is easily able to go in, and again,
That's pro move right there.
It's making a decision on when to use the dash, because it's so easy to use. It does so many great things for you in terms of mobility. But again, people forget that it's got a long cooldown. So let's talk about some of these buys over here, as we have a level 3 cooldown item by Cali Girl, as well as 1,000 left in the bank still. Looks like everybody on the opposite team on Coca-Cola has just leveled up by 1 level. And let's jump into this crazy match.
All right, here we see we're following Fairlight right now. Is there some action happening there? Both buffs go to the blue team, to Coke Zero. They have both the armor buff and the gold buff. 2 new buffs here for this new map at Atlantis.
Alice has been using that tankiness as well as KP just to keep on moving, and that's kind of the strategy that we were talking about with double tank comp. But I love the support that we are seeing from Space Aids as well as Voyboy, just attributing to that by adding all the attack damage, making anybody in their tank's path almost melt.
Absolutely, and as we saw there, a nice move there from Alice using that dodge to just get out of the way, move the action more towards midfield, as KP is now doing some nice volleying, throwing it up to Space Ace. Space Ace take the relics, now change direction, but there he is, Fairlight. That guy's ruthless, using that retribution, the ultimate of Spartacus. There you see the ultimate happen from that Thorgrim there.
Whole lot of deaths.
Mr. McStabby is the only one left. He's almost
be
down.
it?
This could be a team wipe. Mr. McStabby, is he gonna go down? Look at that Ragnarok, well timed, just saving the day for his team to spawn in.
Ragnarok of the year, Mr. McStabby saving his team from a team wipe. Ragnarok at the right, that was great.
It was unbelievable. Bottom just enough time for the rest of his team to come back in, as we see that he's passing the ball to Space Ace. Space like, I don't want it, I have no health. Throws it back to the rest of the team. Now everyone on Team Coke Zero has caught the relic right now in this crazy passing. I've never seen passing like this before, Rich.
They're volleying it around, David, just trying to get the right positioning, trying to figure out the best team fight for him. Looks like this is it. Okay, looks like they just wanted to deal some damage, but that's kind of hard for Team Coke Zero, as they do not have an Alona. And again, I think in team fights where people don't die, Coca-Cola is going to come out on top.
As Voyboy with the relic going left side now, decides to do a charge throw, but is gets intercepted by Fairlight. Look at that. He was reading the quarterback's eyes.
Fairlight now with possession of the balls is dealing with KP on the defensive line. And look at those buildables that are slowly stacking up, David. That's going to be really, really, really tough to get through.
All right, KP using that nice Ram's head to just throw Anthony out of the way as we see some action happening there with KP picking up the relic finally in that little scrum. The relic goes down. And remember, the minute you get hit, you will lose that relic. So if you're holding that relic, you get hit with anything. Could be a shot from a Rollins, could be a swing of a sword from a Spartacus. You will lose that relic, which is why you see the teams keep passing as we're seeing Anthony there. That guy's got an eye for anyone with the relic.
Yes. But you can see the tankiness is totally paying off for KP as she's able to just take in and soak all that damage in, just giving time for the team to position themselves. But here's a problem. Coke Zero, again, is so low. They're either going to have to retreat or just come up with a crazy team combo.
Now this is dangerous, man. Space Ade's going back to his base to try to heal up. Now I gotta wonder here, Rich. You know, Belichick's a pretty shifty guy. Old Rusty Robot's got some tricks up his sleeve. They do have the gold buff. I'm wondering if they're just stalling so they can get more and more gold.
It could be one of those things. And look at the difference, yes. Right now, Coke Zero is climbing in terms of net worth, but we're down to the 1 minute. So how much gold can you actually collect? There's a lot of buildables, I have to admit.
All right, we're down to 50 seconds. There we go. Space Ace now trying to push there with Alice there. Alice gets stopped as X-Cali Girl takes the relic, going left side. She gets melted as Space Aids and Void Boy are now trying to push. Space Ace throws it up to Void Boy. Void Boy tries the long pass. Just falls short, but with the rebound.
The follow-up against Space Age, just so precise with his placement every single time. Whether it's a toss from Void Boy or it's a forced fumble from the opposite team, this guy is saving his dashes at the right time. And watch it, he used it offensively that time around. And that's one of the awesome parts about Rollins as a character. He's gonna have 2 of those in his kit alone, on top of having the dash while you have the relic. But it looks like, again, this is the position that Coca-Cola was in last time. They were down 2 points, but you can see the equipment purchases definitely on their side a little bit. This time around, Coke Zero is closer than they were from the previous game.
All right, there you see Mr. McStabby dropping that Wrecking Hammer. You had that Rollins character dropping the Barrel Dropper. The Barrel Dropper, pretty powerful buildable. What it does is deploys these kind of barrels of TNT. Anything they hit, they explode. Could be a buildable, could be another player. Mr. McStabby trying to pull the signature move. He does get stopped, though, with Space Aids, and then there's Alice to try to do even more damage as the Black Knight as she picks up the relic, now throwing it up to his teammates. And again, we're seeing more and more volleys between the blue team. They're just toying with him, Rich.
Now, here's the thing. Every time we're seeing one member from Team Coke Zero, we're seeing the rest of them right there with them. I mean, that is amazing show of team play and communication between these guys. And Void Boy doing a very good job holding position on here right by the elevator.
All right, Fairlight, though, picking up the relic. We saw Void Boy trying to showboat a little bit with the long toss. A little too long in the charge as he's able to get picked up.
Oh.
There's a battle of the Spartacus down at the bottom, and Void Boy wins that battle.
And right now, look at this. Let's just watch the relic over on the elevator.
It was very hypnotic.
You know what? Right now, we got to swatch over the players as KP and Alice. Can never doubt them that they will have eyes on the relic. And let's check out KP as she moves it past the midline.
KP throwing a back toss there to Alice. Alice throwing back to KP. KP throwing back to Alice. Come on, do it one more time. Do it. There it is.
There
back
it is.
To KP. KP back to Alice. Back to KP.
You know what, since the people have seen this build, there's been improvements to the game. You know, not only do we have Victor as a new character and Atlantis as a new map to play, some of the smaller, intricate things that are in Breakaway have gotten improvement, and passing is one of them. So we're excited to see what you guys do, and these guys are doing amazing things with it so far.
All right, Fairlight on a breakaway. He's the only one on the high road.
That
Void Boy
was
trying
so
to catch
sick.
up, but he pays the price. Void Boy catches up, and Space Ace goes down. Rich, talk about what we just saw there
Yo,
before.
let's just talk about how crazy that was. Oh, yeah. Is Void Boy gonna do this? Okay, I got a little bit of time. Fairlight used the air control that everybody has in the game and was so precise with his platforming skills right there and was able to traverse through that thing. You know, Team Coke Zero thought that was a wall that would stop it. Nope, can't stop Fairlight. They're still in this.
Okay, here we go. Relic falling down to the bottom there as Alice going up the elevator to the second floor. Decides to drop down back to the first floor. Nice pass there to KP. KP throws back to Alice. Alice back to
my
KP.
God.
KP back throw to nobody, though. Misses it as their misdirection there, miscommunication rather. You see KP picking up the rebound, going back up there, pass up to Void Boy. Void Boy just chilling out.
And you know what? At this point, Void Boy can. From the sparks of the green right there, looks like he has a chalice, and he's going to be regenerating HP over time. It's not at the level of Heroic where it's just so significant you can't leave the guy alone, but now this is the kind of pressure that Coke Zero wants to push on their opponents, and they're doing a great job.
All right, Coca-Cola playing all united now. They're one united front. They're trying to do the move, learning a page from Coke Zero. Look at those
Whoa,
passes.
the
Almost threw
juke!
it over there. Gets intercepted by the wall. That's a buildable of Thorgrim, one of the most powerful defensive buildables in Breakaway right now. Thorgrim plays this giant Viking wall. It just totally completely stops lanes of getting in the relic there and pass that you can take. As KP now with the relic throws it upfield to Space Age. This could be the push, Rich.
This could be the wipe, or it could be the push. Seems like a 4v1.
Space Age doing a charging throw, passing it up though as KP intercepts the throw midfield. Alice with the push, pass to Voyboy. Voyboy back, but no, look at that. Fairlight doing an amazing job in that last defense with 30 seconds left to go. We have territory in effect. Mr. McStabby being the hero there, using Ragnarok as Fairlight clears the relic with 21 seconds left to go. Alice picking up the rebound, trying to throw, gets stopped by that Wrecking Hammer, as now we see the action here on both sides of the field. Space Age stop in jail. Fairlight clearing the relic with 12 seconds left to go.
Here's the push.
10 seconds left to go. We have Fairlight needs to class midfield. Relic crosses midfield with 7
Oh
seconds left
my
to go.
God,
6 seconds,
Fairlight.
5 seconds, 4 seconds. The blue team now has it. Here we go. Can they hold them off for one more second? Yes, they can.
Fairlight,
Yes, they can.
Mr. McStabby, the MVPs of that run right there. Let's not forget about Cali Girl just making sure that they have the cover that they need. Holy crap, David, that was so good. McStabby at the very end was able to get that last auto onto the carrier, and that's what popped it up and forced the fumble, and it gave enough time for everybody on the opposite team to go in. I love the aggressive nature right there that we got to see in Fairlight, him going all in, just said, I got this, going for the pass, and that was, again, the point that they could need to help swing things around.
That's one momentum shift there if I've ever seen one. Talk about amazing coordination and teamwork there from Team Coca-Cola. Staying alive. We saw Anthony placing the jail there early on right by his base. Pretty smart to use that buildable right by your relay so that anyone doesn't accidentally pays attention to it, gets caught up in jail, and it kind of buys you that extra time. Fairlight buying some extra time for his team, waiting for Excalibur to get in position. Looks like they're about to start making a push going up left side there. Nope, changing direction, just throwing it away as KP picks up the interception, passes it up to Space Ace. He's activating that barrage, the ultimate ability there of Rollins.
So that's 12 shots right there from Rollins. Space Ace himself, again, committing to that attack damage, but David looks like we got some action over here.
Fairlight making one last bitch effort to save his team. He throws it left side as KP picks up the rebound. She's going there, passing it back to Space Ace, passing it to Alice. Alice getting hit, losing the relic, but Space Ace quick there to pick up the rebound. Again, it hits, it gets popped up in the air. Alice tries to pick it up, but the amazing defense from Team Coca-Cola, and there's that jail getting activated that Anthony placed earlier. Alice caught in jail, she's got to break herself free as Mr. McStabby able to clear the relic for Team Coca-Cola.
Mr. McStab is getting to the point now where he's getting pretty tough to kill. However, the attack damage and armor penetration Rollins that's on Coke Zero is going to be, wow,
Oh,
so
look
tough to
at
deal
that.
with.
That is a big stuff. Like, no, you will not throw that relic there. Fairlight trying to make everything he can to get that rebound. And there he goes. He pays the price, though. That's one powerful retribution for Voyboy. Fairlight did not have enough health. He goes down as Alice now with the relic there. She's almost down, though, but she's a tanky character there. And look at that. Oh!
He used For Glory. That last kick sent him out to death right there. And you can see Cali Girl now being the last line of defense along with McStabby and Fairlight as they wait for their Rollins to come back in.
Okay, here we go with KP, center field. Throws it back to Space Ace, crossing midcourt. Space Ace not sure what he's going to do. Going left, going right, throws back to KP. KP with the relic, passes back to Space Ace, tries to pass it to KP. As it gets picked up by Excalibur, and look at that, Thorgrim goes down on Team Coca-Cola.
KP Thorgrim was the last one to laugh right there as she used the rib splitter just to completely wipe McStabby out, but it's pretty even between the two Thorgrims.
All right, KP with the push. Waiting for her teammate. She's got 5 seconds more. She's got to stall for that Rollins to come back. Waiting for Space Aids as Alice now has it. Passes it back to Voyboy. They're just chilling midfield. Passes back to Alice. Nice pass there as Team Coca-Cola is trying to swarm. And here we go. Alice left side, completely unattended. Does get stopped by Caligirl with that nice range ability of Alona. Not only can she heal, she can also do some damage and some nice range. As Fairlight tries to get into the mix there, we see we see Alice there using the Thorns ability of the Black Knight, her ultimate. She's able to stick past. Oh my God, Fairlight! What an interception! That's butterbean equality there. We're down to 60 seconds. Territory is now in effect. That yellow line has appeared midfield. If the blue team's able to hold them off, they will be able to score and get match point here and win the seeding round going into the finals.
Mr. McStabby now in there again. We got to call out to the amazing defensive plays played all game so far by Fairlight, the entire team. But right now, we're winding down to this could be the last round.
Yeah, there's 30 seconds left to go. If you're Tovar, you got to be coaching your team to start playing with some sense of action here. They're just not seeing it. They're waiting too long with 20 seconds left, 25 seconds left to go. They need to pick up the pace here. Space Stage just toying with him, going up left side where nobody else is. 19 seconds, 18 seconds, keeps ticking away. He's gonna go up the elevator, buys him even more time, as here we go with Fairlight and Caligirl trying to intercept as much as possible. Caligirl picks the relic, throws it up there in the high row, intercepted by Void Boy with 7 seconds left to go. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, nice barrage by Space Ace to try to buy some time. The relic
Fairlight with
I almost said bad words, Dave! I almost said bad words!
Throw by Fairlight!
Holy crap, that was crazy. Fairlight.
Look at that guy, dude. That guy is clearly MVP status.
He's so sick. Wait a second. Late. Looks like the buzzer came out. And an upset. This is our first upset, and it looks like Team Coke Zero was saved by some crazy stuff. So I'm getting reports back by some of the people in the back that there was a catch on it. We may not have seen it in spectator mode, but it was a return throwback. You know what? However, we need, okay, now we know what we
have
need.
a challenge. Challenge flag has been thrown, Rich. We need to find out what happened here. We're gonna go back and see if we can. The spectator has confirmed. We have gotten confirmation from New York that Coke Zero did make that last-minute catch and throw. Unbelievable!
So, okay, just to confirm with everybody here as well as the people over at home, spectators confirmed that, yes, the pass did occur from Fairlight, but there was a return on that mid-catch interception to throw it back. It's kind of tough right now. Regardless, Fairlight has won the hearts of all the people over here.
All the heart and minds of everyone, man. That was an amazing attempt. But we have gotten confirmation. The ruling on the field does stand. It was a score from a nice move by Space Aids, catching that interception. You can watch it back on the stream as the VOD. And we're going to take a short 5-minute break as we fix some things, search in for the next team to come on. Don't forget to donate. All you got to do is click that red box underneath our stream. It'll send you to the Extra Life page. Make a donation. Do it for the children. Simon Locke donated $50. Thanks for that. DeBill's donating $100. And Adam H. Wong donating $100. With Great Trip also donating $25. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated. There's an anonymous donation for $50. Thank you so much. We'll take a short break.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Throwdown Thursday, the special edition.
It's the main event, Rich.
I didn't mess up this time around.
did not
I
mess
got
up.
too nervous earlier. And, you know, we just saw right there probably one of the first most controversial matches that we've
That will
ever
go down in
seen.
history. Now, let me explain it, because I did go back there to talk to some people to figure out what actually happened. So one important rule to note in Breakaway. When we are talking about a territory win and the clock goes down to 0, if the relic is in the air and you catch it and you are still in the air, the clock does not matter. The round does not end until your feet are on the ground. It's similar as if you're in basketball and you throw that jump shot right at the buzzer. It does not happen until the ball is done. So that is what happened there. We saw Fairlight do an amazing heroic move. He had the relic. He tossed it at the last second. Rich went crazy, almost cussing on stream, as we saw that Space Ace jumped up, caught the relic midstream, and threw it back. I got to watch that again, because that's probably one of the best moments I've ever seen. That beats Godspeed.
Yes.
That's the Space Ace now.
It was great. You know, we just want to thank everybody. There was a bunch of crazy stuff over here, but looks like we're starting to set up our next two teams that are going to be battling it out, as it's going to be Coca-Cola Life versus Diet Coke.
That's right.
And these are two heavy-hitter teams.
Before we get into that, though, let's talk about our donations. So please donate to the channel. You go to twitch.tv/playbreakaway. You see the big red box. We're giving money to charity here. This is the Game-a-thon, the third annual Game-a-thon, brought to you by Coca-Cola, featuring Breakaway. And we have already raised, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. We have raised, wait for it to load, suspense, $37,180. That's amazing. Our goal is $50,000. If you guys are able to get $50,000, then we are going to be able to unlock that Black Knight skin. So there you see it. We're at $37,180. DM Brandon leading the charge for our streamers, bringing in over $10,000 with CDN the third closely behind with $7,000 raised. A couple donations we've gotten so far. Brian Yam made a donation. Lonnie85 made a donation. Simon Locke made a donation of $50. We've talked about that before. So again, all you got to do is donate, help the Children's Miracle Network. They're the ones who end up getting the money at the end of the day. But let's kick it off, Rich. It's go time here. Let's introduce these teams in our playoff round number 2. The winning team will also advance to the finals in this best-of-3 round. We're going to kick it off introducing Team Diet Coke. In the leadoff position for Team Diet Coke, we have none other than CDN the third, all the way from Nifsylvania. There he is. Look at that. He's raised over $7,000 for charity.
I still want to make my way over there. I've known CDN for a very, very long time, an accomplished gamer, and all around one of my favorites, as he's hard selected and committed a lot of his time here on Morgan. And here's what I've seen. You know, it's confirmed right there on the screen. He's been going for attack damage output Morgan, which is kind of what a lot of people have been theorizing on. We've changed her, we've provided her with a crosshair, and somebody with the precision aim and exquisite gaming skill as CDN, with Morgan, is going to be amazing on a team.
All right, introducing player number 2 spot for Team Diet Coke. We have none other than General Death. I'm sorry, it's OP from Jersey.
You know what? I got a chance to play against OP yesterday, and oh, by golly, this guy is amazing. He's selected Rollins in every game that I'm picking, and then from what I've seen, I'm praying that that's what is brought to the table today, and looks like it's locked in. I have to admit, in the games that I played, this guy defeated me yesterday, and it was just his movement, his choice of options, and his ability to grasp the mechanics in such a short amount of time. I feel that he's gotten better from last night to this morning, and that for Team Diet Coke, along with CDN, is looking really beefy.
All right, now we'll go to the General, all the way from Tampa, Florida. General Death, raking in the troops of Death.
You know, Death, I'm hoping that he's going to be bringing in that Black Knight. It just suits his name.
Does suit the name.
It suits the name, and I've seen him pick Black Knight last night. If you guys got to catch any of the streams that DM Brandon and CDN the third played, and looks like it's locked in, as we have General Death locking in that Black Knight. Let's talk about this. I wasn't able to go in and run the relic at all as long as he was up, and an amazing defensive player like that with crazy OP attack damage players is something that you need, David.
Okay. And then the money man himself, the man who has raised over $10,000 in counting for charity. Give it up for Atlanta native DM Brandon.
You know, that is a typo. We're doing that just to make him furious, but we know DM Brandon is an amazing player. Last night, again, he was part of the team that I got to play last night. I caught the fury of his and Bonnie, but I know that he has an amazing Spartacus. This is the one guy that's kind of bringing it all together, as, you know, He is the committed attack damage carry player, but he also knows all the mechanics that are embedded into this version of Breakaway, and I'm very excited to see him play.
All right, now let's see there. There he is. You locked in Spartacus, Rich.
Spartacus is the character to lock in. Again, he's going for attack damage. He's going for armor penetration, and he's flanking. He's doing all the right things. You know, he's a smite player, and I feel that he has an amazing mindset for being able to pick out specific players on the opposite team, completely wipe it out, and then again, grouping very quickly with his team to just move the relic forward.
All right, and let's introduce the coach of Team Diet Coke. Coming back for more. There he is, Coach of the Year, Belier.
I can't talk enough good stuff about this guy, but he communicates a lot with his team. He's going to call out some crazy random strats, and I think that's a surprise that his opponents today are going to have to worry about.
And let's talk about his opponents, Rich, as we switch sides over to Team Coke Life. In the leadoff position for Team Coke Life, we have from Palmdale, California, Hallie Nick.
Okay, again, looks like we're back at it. Haley's over here. Yesterday, we got to see her play Rollins, and she went heads up against another Rollins and did an amazing job. I'm not sure if she's going to be picking that this time around. They did have a little bit of time to practice earlier. If you got to catch her stream, she was doing a lot of work raising money for Extra Life and Game-a-thon. Who's going to be the pick today? Let's see. Never know. We actually don't know. But you know what? Nonetheless, folks, Haley's been doing an amazing job. We saw her streaming earlier. She ran through some tech difficulties and just chugged right through it.
Dude, she powered through like a champion.
Raised a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be... She's giving us this gaze right now where she's not giving me any reason.
She's not really telling us who she's going to pick. That's the question. In the chat, put your questions. Who do you think she's going to chat? Who will she pick? And as we do that, let's make some donation runs. Let's see who has donated since we last talked. Again, if you want to make a donation, all you got to do is go to the twitch.tv/playbreakaway page. Click on the donation box. It's that big red button with a Coca-Cola logo. Go over to the Extra Life page. Donate as much as you can. Could be as little as $1. Could be as much as, I don't know, $10,000. And we can see as we have a special incentive for you to donate. For every $5 you donate up to $15, you will enter into a sweepstakes to win this amazing PC that Coke Esports has created. Look at that. It's powered by Coca-Cola, Rich. This thing has an Intel i7 6950X Extreme processor, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 and SLI. So there's two of those in there. There's got a HyperX Fury 16 gigs of RAM. It's got a Samsung 512 SSD, Hitachi 1 terabyte drive. This thing is sheerly built for awesome adventures in esports and some great breakaway action.
That's right. So again, you know, if you want more information on that, hop on to Coke Esports on their Twitter account. There's a pinned picture right there just for more information and how to increase your chances to get this awesome gaming PC. And you know what? Let's talk about the alpha, David.
The alpha's happening momentarily. We are like T-minus 57 minutes away from the alpha, whether we are done or not. The alpha's going live, Rich, so we better pick up a little bit here. If you go on to playbreakaway.com, you see a giant download button. You cannot miss it, I assure you. Click that button, sign in with your Twitch credentials. If you don't know your Twitch username or password, you can make a brand new one. That's okay. All you got to do is log in. You will instantly be able to download the launcher, and then that will tell you what to do next. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Log in with your Twitch, download the launcher, wait till 6 o'clock in 57 minutes, and you will be able to be playing Breakaway with all of us.
That's right. We're hoping to see a lot of you guys as early as 6 o'clock tonight. So again, please don't forget to play because, you know, while that's going to be available and as we run the entire Game-a-thon, one of the things that we're trying to do, again, is hit that 50K goal.
We are so close, Rich.
Because we want to reveal this awesome piece. Check this out. It is the exclusive Black Knight skin that we were going to be unlocking to just support everything that's going on for Game-a-thon. Let's come together as one community to help an amazing cause, and let's play a badass character together.
That's right. We are $12,720 away. $12,720 away. That may seem like a lot, but when you think about the fact that we were only at $10,000 yesterday, we have done amazing strides. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated. I hope you guys didn't mind digging a little deeper. All you got to do is give $1. Just give $1. If everyone watching gives $1, we're halfway there. So please just give whatever you can. Could be 50 cents, could be $1. Coca-Cola is matching every donation up to $50,000. So we will try to do everything we can. Let's do what we can, rally together, and let's break that $50,000 goal and give $100,000 to charity.
That's right. And you know what you're going to be seeing today are a set of influencers broadcasters that you normally see over on the front page of Twitch, and they're going to be playing. You know what? If you don't want to hit that link on the bottom for us, check out DM Brandon, check out Whitwix, check out Haley Nick, or CDN the Third. Donate to them because I know that they're running a whole bunch of awesome sweepstakes as well. Please hop into the mix.
All right, and let's kick it back over to Hallie there. She is deciding to pick. Her pick is finally locked in. She is going to go with suspense.
The suspense.
There it is.
The Rollins.
The
You know what?
Rollins.
From what we saw yesterday, Haley did an amazing job. Kind of took me by surprise because I was like, who is Linux? And it turned out to be Haley. I'm excited to see her play this character again. You know, we had a few hours since last night. Earlier, she had a few games to be able to practice. You know, all these players play very well. Let's hop on to the next player.
All right, in the player 2 spot, we have Just331, a.k.a. Just.
Just. What was Just playing yesterday? It doesn't matter. It was awesome.
He's a tank
Right now, I
character,
know that he
believe.
loves tank characters. Is it going to be the Thorgrim? Is it going to be the Black Knight? And looks like it's Black Knight. Again, I think what was cool yesterday is that we got to see a lot of pairings. Yesterday, Just was very well paired with Haley, and we got to see that combo with the Rollins and the Black Knight. And I'm very excited for the next pair of players that we're going to call out right now.
And there it is. Let's do it. My favorite person, Russ Money, everybody. This guy is money. He's raising money with his friend there, Whitwix. They are doing everything they can to raise money for charity. Look at that. Russ Money. He's so happy to be here. Look at that guy.
I remember Russ Money in his very aggressive Alona, and looks like it's locked in right now. No doubt about it. Again, we were calling out the strength of this team and the bond that they're going to have with their coach, as, you know, Butter Beanie loves Alona, and we've seen exceptional play from Russ Money yesterday.
All right, and rounding it out for Team Coke Life, none other than the man himself, Whitwix.
You know, Wicks up yesterday, hard selected Spartacus. His first game was heads up against Voyboy, one of the strongest players we've seen to date, and he was winning the 1v1 fights. And looks like he's locked and committed to the Spartacus play again. Now, you know, from all the games that I've seen Whitwix play, this guy gets better by the minute. I'm excited to see what happened starting today in the practice sessions from yesterday and what he's going to be bringing for today's finals. And let's talk about today's coach.
You all know her, Butter Beanie, probably one of the best Alonas we have here in the studio. She's going to be coaching, especially some special coaching to Russ Money, who's also playing as Alona.
That's right, Butter Beanie back into business. Let's get right into it. So it's going to be Coke Life versus Diet Coke. Let's jump into the match. It's going to get loud and crazy over here. Let us know who you think's going to win. Coke Life hashtag, or is it hashtag Diet Coke? Hit us up. Let's jump into round 1.
All right, real quick before we start, quick shout out to Chris Sequillo, who donates $25 to Extra Life. Thank you so much for that donation. If you want to donate, all you got to do is click that red box at the bottom of our stream and go to the page and donate. We got 10 seconds left to go. We see a lot of attack damage happening on Team Coke Life.
So we got, again, Coke Life going straight attack damage. And the other team, we have a nice diverse crowd. DM Brandon with the odd pick of going Demolition. Looks like they want to commit and get those buffs. Let's see if they'll get it.
Out of the gate, Just goes off that speed ramp placed by Spartacus, getting that extra momentum and speed jump into midfield as we see action happening mid-court there as we go to Russ Money now with the Relic and Alona. Russ Money decides to change direction, going left side now as we see Thorns activated by Just 331, I should say, and just a battle of the tanks there. Look at that, one tank against a Spartacus and a Black Knight. He's able to take one out remarkably, but it's not looking good for him. You see his health there in the top left corner. He's about to go down as a nice circle of spike gets activated by the Morgan Le Fay there, causing slowdown and speed reduction there from the team.
And you can hear these players calling out D, calling out position. Right now, I really love the play that Diet Coke is doing. However, look at Coke Life just moving forward.
Hold on, Rich. Russ Money was almost there, but nice interception by the Ann Bonnie character of DM Brandon as we see DM Brandon changing his mind there. We thought he was Spartacus. At the last second, he swapped it to Ann Bonnie as we have action happening there with some two-on-one action. Russ Money able to pick up the Relic, takes it left field, but does get stopped there by the action as Rollins falls off the map, and both Rollins are down on both sides, and now we have Alona going down as the Rollins on Coke Life is able to come back to life.
That's why you you see the combo in the backline by DM Brandon, combining sniper shot with that auto hit, and again, keeping that whole buster ready just in case people are clumped up. He's doing very well with that demolition item equipment purchase.
Oh, look at that ballista. That's Ambani's buildable. Does massive amounts of turret damage. Just completely melted the Black Knight there on Coke Life.
Russ Money's doing a lot of relic movement. And I kind of dig it. However, he isn't able to heal at this time, but looks like he was able to get off one right there.
All right, Russ Money left side there. Decides to go near her healing shrine. That will give extra bonus to life, as all you do is stand next to it, but the blue team is able to take that out, as OP now throwing the relic upfield does get intercepted by just 331.
All right, here's the problem right now. DM Brandon is already on fire. The team has both the gold buff as well as the armor buff, and look at this team fight. DM Brandon.
Here we go. Russ Money picking up the relic in the scrum, going midfield, taking it to the left side there, trying to clear it away from the team Diet Coke, as we see Coke Life pushing up there, changing direction though. We see just 331 caught in jail in the distance there. We see a nice pull there from General Death. He's able to take the relic, but does that range ability of Alona, but she does not survive the barrage of OP, as we see a team wipe there. Look at Diet Coke celebrating.
Such a quick team right there, just at the very end. You know, I was kind of worried for a second because in that previous team fight, DM Brandon and his team, they lost one member. But you know what, in just a matter of 30 seconds, they turned it around, got the team wipe, and scored themselves the first point. So it's now 1-0 with Diet Coke in the lead.
All right, 2 more donations have come in, each for $50. Thanks to Bob Chancellor, thanks to Chris Evans. All you gotta do is click that button to donate, as we see DM Brandon leading the charge with Ann Bonnie trying to pick off that gold buff. There she goes.
Oh, such a precision shot right there by DM Brandon, and it's 2 for 2. It looks like they're going for that. Again, this is a new playstyle that I haven't seen before.
Look at that aura of silence activated by Ann Bonnie, silencing all the abilities for the enemies there, and comboing that with the Circle of Spite, which gives you that debuff there, debuffing your attacks and slowing you down at time in that 1-2 punch.
Russ Money and team now just playing from the back line. They're going to be using that healing shrine right there from the Alona and just try to use it to the advantage. But look at this flank by CD in the third.
CD in the third getting hit by that Retribution. He's almost dead. He's backing up to get more health, as we see Action just maintaining in midfield there. No one's going for that relic. We see both of both of Morgan Le Fay's buildables just chilling out there midfield. The Tome of Frailty, the Elder Stone. We'll talk about those in a second. But Team Coke Life is able to take down both of them and collect all that gold.
Haley now right there in the right position, along with just, again, the deadly duo back at it. You will never see one without the other, as Haley goes and flanks behind OP for the crazy fight.
All right, Haley using that slide, able to get her to get on the other side of there to make that flank. As we see Haley using the double down, that's the double roll that Rollins has. Special ability to him, he gets to dodge 2 times in a row if you use him fast enough. As we see Haley fighting it out with DM Brandon. It's a battle of the range characters, battle of the shooters. Looks like DM Brandon might have the edge there, but Haley able to back out in time, and now she's back at base healing.
Haley still has OP to deal with in the back line. While she was healing, OP was just sitting there like a crazy annoying Rollins, just doing damage.
All right, Russ Money doing a nice job avoiding that Circle of Spite from that Morgan Le Fay character. CD in the third putting that down, as just 331 has the relic now. Does get hit though, loses it, but the rebound's picked up by CD in the third, trying to push there on the left side. He's not able to do it, as Russ Money takes the rebound and picks it up and returning it for the other side of the team, taking it left side of the field. Nice pass there to just 331. DM Brandon with the interception. About to go down though. Does DM Brandon get melted? Yes, he does.
Wicks now with the kill. Looks like DM Brandon is going to have to wait 10 seconds before he gets into the fight. He's looking pretty wealthy though. I'm wondering what he's going to come back with. Look at that net worth, 20,000.
Hold on, Rich. Russ Money trying to do it, but look at that. Ann Bonnie, buildable, doing a great job combined with the jail, but it's not enough. It's a nice rebound. Second attempt there from the Alona, as Coke Life scores.
Russ Money, don't care what you think. You know what? I was just talking about the deficit in gold between the two teams. It was 20,000 to 9,000. And while that was happening, Russ Money just goes in and tosses it.
Proving out his name. You could tell he's getting some tips there from Butter Beanie, the Alona character. She's just rocking it there, giving great advice there, great coaching. It's awesome when you see the support character, the one to score the relic.
Oh, so this is where we start to see problems for Coke Life, as you have multiple characters on the opposite team with epic heroic items doing tons of damage, and they're always going to be able to secure both buffs. But look at that.
Ooh, Russ Money falls into a bad trap there in midfield, just gets totally melted. As City in the third picks up the rebound, left side completely uncontested. He's on a breakaway. He could go all the way. CD in the third. There he goes.
It's just one of those things, David. CD in the third, found a hole, was able to take it out of that midsection on the left pillar and just easily able to go in. You know, Rust Money was there, just respawned, but it's really tough in that situation. I think at that point, CDN was too deep into their opponent relay.
What do you think about Morgan Le Fay having that heroic attack damage?
I think she's one of those characters, yes, she's classified as a support character, but I kill people, and I've seen CDN do 10 times better than anyone I've ever seen with the character, and looks like attack damage on her is looking awesome.
All right, CD in the third there, hero of the team there, using that Circle of Spite again, causing that debuff in speed and attack for the opponents there. We saw Haley back to Cotton Jail, and massive fights happening just right at the bottom of the midfield.
I mean, this is what's happening. He's going in, he's initiating with Burden of Sin. Multiple characters are slowed, and then he's going to be able to follow up with a Circle of
Spite. Hold on, OP! Nice pass and score, and there it is, folks. Diet Coke with the clean sweep of match 1.
The entire team played out of their minds. CD in the third, getting all that attack damage out there. OP for that last one, just sneaking in. And DM Brandon, I feel like DM Brandon was able to help secure the buffs every single time. And that is so huge for the team.
This team definitely looks like the team to beat, Rich. I mean, their coordinative ability is just unbelievable. Everyone knows their role. We saw DM Brandon switching at the last second from that Spartacus. Yes. He fooled us. We thought he was going Spartacus. He's like, you know what? I'm actually going to go Ambani there.
But you saw it right there. We were wondering why the pick, why Ambani. However, they were able to secure the buffs every single round, both buffs for that matter. Oh my goodness. Guys, if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for watching. You are watching some good old Breakaway as we near the 6 o'clock mark, where the alpha is going to be available for all of you to hop onto. If you haven't already, hop on to playbreakaway.com. Check out the links there. Download the alpha right now.
That's the only link you really need to worry about, that giant download button. There it is, the website there. Go to playbreakaway.com, click on the giant download button, log in with your Twitch ID and your Twitch username password. If you don't know it, you can sign up and create one. Even if you don't have one, you can sign up and create one. Download it all the way on your own. Let's give a quick shout out to the Smelly who donated $50 for charity. Again, all you got to do is click that red button, donate for Extra Life, support the Children's Miracle Network. We will give you a shout out every time we see a donation happen. And let's go back to game 2 now. This could be it. If Diet Coke is able to get this, Diet Coke will go to the finals and go up against Coke Zero.
You know what, while that's going on, do we have even more people? Chris Evans, a.k.a. Blargers, donated $50 saying, sorry, Adam Wong, kill the animals. We also have a few more coming in. If you haven't already, please hit that button on the bottom. Or if you see your favorite streamer doing great things over here, I'm pretty sure that they have their links available. So support, again, the Game-a-thon event.
Try to win that awesome PC that you see it in the back there.
I don't think we can actually win it. Looks like,
yeah, I don't think we can
the sounds of it looks like we're getting into our second match. Again, this is going to be a best out of 3, so team to win first 2 games advances themselves into the final. Let's go into it. Coke Life versus Diet Coke.
Game 2, Rich. You put money on Diet Coke?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Yes.
Nothing to knock on Coke Life, and I do respect the coaching prowess of Butterbeanie, but I don't know. Diet Coke they seem pretty unstoppable.
All right, we got a little mix-up over here as Just goes off to the Thorgrim and bind out level 1 movement speed. You know, it's one of the cheaper equipment purchases that you could buy, leaving him with 250, but watch DM Brandon.
You called it, but look at that. Haley's trying to make a push to steal it herself, and Coke Life's actually able to take the Coke buff. Nice work. Haley doing that great barrage. That's that Rollins' ultimate ability, where just unloads 15 kind of attacks simultaneously, like one after the other in sequence, and able to steal a ninja that from the other team.
Look how many fumbles are being forced right now by DM Brandon in the back line, helping his team. But look at that quick turnaround just because of that Circle of Spite from Morgan Le Fay and CD in the third.
Okay, Relic gets popped up as General Death does get hit. The interception there by Rust Money. Rust Money trying to take it up the field. Rust Money going right side as Alona, charging up that throw, just clearing it closer and closer into enemy territory there as we see OP able to pick up the Relic, jumps over his own jail. Doesn't matter, there's no friendly fire in Breakaway, but it is style points, Rich.
Here's a thing that I've been seeing from a lot of the stronger players right now. The passing game is on point. These guys are positioning themselves to pass the game, but they quickly disengage and fight, and I think that's what's making them just have so much dominance whenever they're on their side of the field.
All right, you saw OP with the barrage there as General Death taking the lead as the tank does get hit by that Ragnarok from just 331, who then uses the Rib Splitter to further try to do some AoE damage there as Thorgrim. He tried to use that Ram's Head ability, but he does get interrupted by General Death, who uses his attack, and we're just seeing a massive mosh pit of action there right at the foot. Try that 10 times fast.
You know what? I like what I saw earlier with we had General Death going in with his Black Knight. They did score themselves the silver buff, which is going to grant 20% armor for themselves and the entire team. But again, which is a great stat to stack onto Black Knight.
Okay, there's just 331 using a different tank now. He's playing as Thorgrim. He's fighting against General Death using that Ragnarok ability. Nicely timed.
Oh.
He picks up the relic. Does get hit though by General Death as Black Knight. Circle of Spike goes down from CDN the third. Again, that gives you a slowdown, gives you a weakening attack ability. It's a tumble of death and destruction.
Wow.
As we're just seeing teams just go at it there. But Diet Coke's looking like they're losing this fight.
Witwick's and team now moving forward. Here's the thing, they do have an Alona, so they'll be able to heal themselves whenever needed. Just and Rust Money.
That's right. You saw Rust Money using Radiance. That's that green line you're seeing connecting her to just 331. One of the new effects that we added into the alpha there. So if you played before at TwitchCon, you may not have noticed that. We changed it in the alpha. So now you'll know exactly who you're healing with that Radiance ability. As Haley now with the relic going left field. Ooh, she sees that circle. She's like, I'm not going anywhere near that.
Hell yeah.
All right, here's OP with it, though. Throwing it upfield. Does get intercepted by Witwix. Witwix passing it back there. You saw some action there from Burden of Sin getting thrown out there by Morgan Le Fay as she locks that flock of Ravens. Again, you just got to watch out for that Morgan Le Fay. She's proven to be a deadly force to reckon with. No one messes with CDN the third. I wonder if there's a Morgan Le Fay Nifsylvania thing going on there. It's just been unstoppable there as Haley uses her ultimate. We're down to 60 seconds, Rich. The yellow line in the center of the field. All you got to do is cross that line. Make sure you got to wait for that relic to touch the ground for the round to end. Don't end up like Fairlight and Space Aids in the previous round. Nice move there as all the teams go flying. General Test pushing at the last minute. He's got that wall from Thorgrim he's got to worry about. But it doesn't matter. He's only got 40 seconds left to go. Just keep it in this territory and your team will win. But there's Rust Money with the interception, throwing it as much as he can. It's still in their territory, though. They have to clear that relic across the line. And it is almost there, and it's on the third attempt. He's still not able to do it. General Death picks it up with 28 seconds left to go.
General Death is just so tanky. He's able to ignore a great interception right there by just 331.
All right, Just has it crossing the line. Now it's if you're Diet Coke, you got to worry with 18 seconds left to go. 17 seconds left to go. OP does hit Just, so he's forced to fumble the relic. There it is, hitting him again. But it doesn't matter. He falls off the screen with 10 seconds left to go. They might even score, Rich, and there it is. Rust Money with the score.
Rust Money's a god. It's confirmed. Rust Money going in, scoring the second point right there for Coke Life. Doing an amazing job with that rebound and to the toss. And I'm his new biggest fan. Rust Money for Prez. Okay, let's see. Watch this. DM Brandon now with 3K in the bank. Also has heroic level demolition item as well as a level 3 attack damage. Let's talk about CD in the third with 5 assists, scoring himself a level 3 attack damage item as well. But Witwix on the other side, as well as their damage carry, also have level 3 items. Now, the problem is, DM Brandon, take him out, and again, you could definitely score.
Yeah, he's on fire, as you mentioned, Rich. So every hit he does is going to give him that extra cooldown reduction. As Rust Money has the relic, he is going left side of the field. Look at them trying to aim that throw. Does get intercepted by OP, who's now at midfield. You have both of those buildables from that Morgan Le Fay there. CD in the third, placing both of those down the center. Those things are the Tome of Frailty and the Elder Stone. The Tome of Frailty gives weakness to the first enemy that enters range, and that Elder Stone just keeps soaking up charges till it's activated. Then it launches one massive attack and hitting one of the enemy characters. So you got to watch out for those buildables as just 331 waiting for that elevator. He goes up to the second floor. Ding! And as we see him mowing there on the right side.
Wow, just 331 able to go in. Was it, but just got hit. DM Brandon on point.
You got to watch out for that Ambani Ballista. It's one of the most powerful defensive buildables we have in Breakaway. It's just targets any one character, hits them with a massive, powerful arrow strike, and it just, it doesn't miss. So you got to watch out when you see that buildable there. As Witwix is able to have it, he gets caught in the circle of spite there. As we see down in the action there, now we got someone caught in jail there. Can they break him out? Yes, they can. As Witwix does a nice job using a final slash there, taking down Morgan Le Fay. Witwix trying to get the relic though, does miss it as his friend Rust Money's got the relic.
Oh no, OP barely makes it out there. Witwix for the fight, but gets slid on. That was an amazing play right there, using the slide from Rollins. Able to pop him up and just stop the combo that Spartacus had. midway.
All right, you see CD in the third with the charge, passing it up there to DM Brandon. He's like, I don't want it, I'm defensive now. So he throws it back up there. CD in the third doing nice, massive damage. As we see General Death pushing up the left side. He does get stopped by just 3-3-1. Haley's back there doing defense. CD there, keeps behind it, throws it right behind the wall. CD in the third, nice work.
CD in the third just playing it right. He played it cool, didn't toss it too early. It was able to get around the Thorgrim wall. And here it is. Check out the replay. Just a little tap, just tapped it in. All right, let's call out one of the donations that we have from an awesome member from the community, Miss DJM, saying, for the kids. It's been a pleasure watching the hype build up for this game. Then on Alpha Day, supporting Extra Life and its beautiful cause is just the icing on the most epic cake. Also, for Richest Man Bun, it's just on point. Nice. All right, back to the action. It is 1-2-1 between these two teams. Look at that, so quick as DM Brandon is able to secure that gold buff. That's 750 gold for every member of the team.
All right, we saw there that Elder Stone was placed there by CD in the third. He places it right next to the Tome of Frailty for that 1-2 kind of strike there with Morgan Le Fay. He's really comboing these attacks really well, Rich.
You know, Morgan Le Fay is just one of those characters. High skill bar, however, the payout is ridiculous, especially when you have the team that you do for Team Diet Coke.
Ooh, look at that. See it. Sorry, Rich.
No,
CD in the third, sneaking in there, trying to use the dash. Does get caught by Witwix. He doesn't let it happen. Able to get the relic over to Rust Money. Rust Money gets caught up in that circle of spite. Then you see the Burden of Sin. Those Ravens fly up at Rust Money. He gets hit by it, slowing him down for 7 seconds. But Rust Money is still able to withstand it, though. He gets caught up, though, in the caught of General Death as Witwix trying to take the lead charge there. Does get stopped. We have a missed Ragnarok there by that Thorgrim, but he nails it on point with that Ram's Head. Does pay the price, though, as he goes down, as General Death now has a relic, taking it back to midfield.
We have oh my goodness, look at that. 11,000 gold deficit between the two teams. That's General Death now moving in against Rust Money.
Here's General Death, right side, going to side, change it, throwing it back to OP, gets it back to General Death. He's going left side against the wall. No, he goes right side, tries to juke it, does get stopped. The red team doesn't bite. Coke Life saving for dear life, doing everything they can. They're fighting left and right. We see Rust Money trying to pulling out there. He throws a relic just to clear it. Nice work there from Coke Life. Rust Money's getting chased by General Death. He's able to withstand it. He's got to get out of that circle of spite that CD in the third just caused, and Rust Money is doing the run for his life.
CD in the third, so good in terms of his placement, was able to put himself there at the right time. Circle of Spite was one of the saviors right there from that save, and now the teams are reset as you know, we wait for the Rollins to come back for Team Diet Coke.
All right, it's important to note that Coke Life, Rust Money, he did pay the price. He was down for a 10-second cooldown. Now we see the Rollins character down for a 13-second cooldown. It's an 11-second power play now for Team Diet Coke. This is a good chance for them to make their move.
And DM Brandon, so good to be able to, oh my goodness, never mind. He's just killing everybody.
This could be the team wipe. Can Rust Money hold on? Rust Money still has that blessing of the sun. That will give him health. He just used it. He's going to go down. This could be it. But we do have Rollins back in the action. He was able to buy enough time. As we see General Death trying to push it in there. DM Brandon making one last save. Does get stopped. As we see the relic just rolling down there. DM Brandon throwing it in. Scoring!
Oh, no. And that's the thing. We got to see Retribution right there at the very end. The unfortunate thing is that you won't be able to catch or intercept the relic while you're in mid-animation of a move or an ability. Okay, so never mind. It was a Ragnarok. Check it out over here. You know what? I love the thought process right there. I think a neutral jump would have been the best saving grace for the team. But let's talk about this.
Wow.
It's a whole lot of purple.
Whole lot of
left side
purple.
of the screen. And again, this is match point for Diet Coke. If they win this, they'll be going against Coke Zero in the finals.
And look at DM Brandon. He's got 4 heroics and he still has 1,900 gold. All right, Witwix in the middle of the match fighting General Death. Witwix paying the price, though. Does use a nice no retreat there to dash into DM Brandon. He's trying to now take down CD in the third, but man, he gets blasted there.
You know, that's a tough place to fight.
Hold on, General Death sneaking in the back, pulling a Mr. McStabby. Does get caught, catches his own rebound. You got that one Thor.
Wait,
there
what
it
was
is.
that?
Look at that.
That was so good. Mid-air catch rebound. Watch this. Even with the wall, we're just going to see a little bit of OP. Shh.
Oh, there it goes.
Never
Right
mind.
behind the wall.
Use your imagination, kids. That was an amazing play by the entire Diet Coke team as they close it out right here for the seeding, for the qualifier match semis.
So
and,
we will see Diet Coke in the finals now. Nice work there. We need to reset. It's going to be a battle of the no-calorie beverages between Coke Zero and Diet Coke, Rich. Who do you think is going to win, chat? Give us the hashtag Diet Coke, the hashtag Coke Zero. We will be back momentarily. We're just going to stall here while we see Coke Life reset with Coke Zero, and we kick off this finals in this Breakaway Game-a-thon main event. All right, Rich.
Vicious with the score. He could get it in. Oh, he's going to finish it. Vicious for the win.
All right, folks, welcome back. I am Filthy Rich, and this is Mr. Sill, and we are getting ready for the finals over here for the Game-a-thon 2016 over at the Amazon Game Studios Orange County Studios.
That's right, Rich. For the past 3 days, we've seen 4 teams go up against each other: Coke Life, Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, and Diet Coke. We've done some action happening. Let's look at this bracket there. We saw in the playoffs earlier today, Coca-Cola went up against Coke Zero. Coke Zero took the crown. Then we just saw Diet Coke face off against Coke Life, and Diet Coke takes the crown. This is it, Rich. As I said before, it's the battle of the zero-calorie Coca-Colas. Who will take the victory? Who will take the crown? And will we hit our goal, Rich? That's the big question.
Yes, that's
we have
right.
$50,000 as the target. We're at around $37,000 right now. Please donate. All you got to do is go to our twitch.tv/playbreakaway page. Go to the red box. Click on that. Donate as much as you can. Could be $1, could be $100, could be $1 million, whatever you want to do. If we hit that $50,000 goal, we will unlock that special Black Knight skin. Let's give some quick shout out. We had Allie donate $1. She said, wish I could donate more. That's okay. Just donate whatever you can do.
Awesome.
Go OP, go OP, go. Thanks so much for all the streamers and Coke Esports doing so much for the kids. Truly appreciate you all, and we appreciate you, Allie. And then we got Just Bro Gamer donating $50. Good job, guys. Super excited for this weekend.
You know, as you can see on the screen, we've had many broadcasters come into the studio, and these kind of are our leaders to help raise money for this entire event. So again, if you're seeing any of your favorite broadcasters, you can hop on over to the channel just in case you didn't want to hit the one under us.
Yeah,
but that was easier.
Nothing wrong with that.
Please donate to the cause. It's all going to the same exact thing. And let's fill everybody in on what's going on today, David.
All right, so we've talked about the previous matches were playoff matches. Those were best of 3. This is the Throwdown Thursday main event. This is the finals. This is best of 5. We will see Diet Coke facing off against Coke Zero momentarily. Before we do that, though, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Asus, the official system provider and monitor for Breakaway. We have Asus in their machines, the VG248QE. It's a 24-inch monitor, well known in the competitive scene in esports for its 144 Hz refresh rate with 1 millisecond response time. And of course, you got the G11 desktop, which sheds light on uncompromising performance. This powerful machine allows you to play Breakaway without compromising your gameplay experience and giving you the ability to stream in the best quality.
You know, it's the second time that these teams have been up here, and they've played exceptionally well. You know, I wouldn't say destroy the teams that they played again, but we got to see a level of expertise from an exquisite group of gamers. Now we have Coke Zero as well as Diet Coke, and everybody has pulled their weight. David, do you have a favorite between the two?
You know, I have to give it to Diet Coke. I was going to say Coke Zero, but man, Diet Coke in that last match, they just annihilated Coke Zero, or Coke Life, I should say. And man, like just the coordination of the team, the amazing ability of D and Brandon playing probably Chris Corey rival level of Ann Bonnie. I mean, it was pretty amazing, Rich.
That's right. But you know what? On the other side, I could definitely say the same thing for Coke Zero as well. The combination of, you know, Alice and KP, the frontline immovable objects right there. You know, supported by the crazy damage team that we have from Voyboy as well as Space Aids. You know what? I'm not sure who's going to win. We have 2 completely different styles of play, and I think we're about to get ready.
Yeah, let's introduce Team Diet Coke. For those of you who missed it, Team Diet Coke in the leadoff position, we have none other than from Nifsylvania, CDN the Third.
CDN the Third, we saw it earlier. He knows how to stack his combos. He's going to be playing Morgan Le Fay today, the new and improved Morgan Le Fay.
Probably one of the best Morgan Le Fay players that we've ever seen on stream.
Yes, I would say he's the best. One of the best that I've ever seen for now. At the moment, confirmed
he's locked
in. He is the best. So this is the best of the best that you will ever see from Morgan.
All right, next up for player number 2, coming to us from Jersey, we got OP. Will he play Rollins again, Rich? What do you think?
You know what? I haven't seen him play anyone else, and it would be a shame if he changed it because I'm taking notes every single time this guy is playing, as we've seen some exquisite play from the attack carry style Rollins that we have.
He's showing his
flexing
guns.
the buys. Again, this guy is somebody to keep an eye out, an amazing Rollins player and an amazing team player. Good luck.
All right, in the 3rd spot, we got maybe the Black Knight we'll see again with General Death from Tampa, Florida.
It would almost be weird if he didn't pick Black Knight because he just knows how to use his kit so well, and it's confirmed. General Death. I almost called him General Black Knight. but it would have been the same thing. This guy's a fantastic player, and I love what he brings to the table.
All right, and then finally, we said the Atlanta native. He was actually the Atlanta native via Jersey, the Jersey boy, DM Brandon.
DM Brandon is showing us a brand new set of skill when it comes down to playing this game. Whether it was from the exquisite Spartacus play that we saw yesterday, or it was the Ambani buff hogging play, and looks like he's going to be going with that Ambani play. These guys have never lost a buff except for one round, but they still were able to secure the other. I love his play. He's got an amazing, accurate shot, and again, good luck to Diet Coke as they're going to be led today by their coach.
Coach Belier, man, this guy could win it all.
You know, this guy has a very dirty strats, but he also knows everything in between. So if you have somebody who understands the foundation of all the existing meta and is able to kind of be creative with his play, Belier is an amazing coach to have on a team.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but he's a genius. He's a mathematical genius when it comes down to the stats of this game.
Well, he programmed it, so I would hope so. All right. Their challenger in this Throwdown Thursday main event is none other than Team Coke Zero. Kicking off for Team Coke Zero, we have none other than from Toronto, Canada, KPLOL.
That's right, leading the team. Earlier, she did so well with the Thorgrim, starting off fights and moving that relic. KP is going to be sticking with Thorgrim, I presume. But let's see. I'm down for the mix-up. And here it is. It's confirmed. KP, LOL, locking it in for that Thorgrim.
All right, real quick shout out to Critabit donating $25. Thank you so much for that donation. All you got to do again is click that donation button on our Twitch channel, give the money to Extra Life, help the Children's Miracle Network, and help the whole Breakaway community hit that $5,000 goal and unlock that Black Knight skin. Because we have, going into the second round spot, the second player on Team Coke Zero, none other than Alice from the UK.
That's right, Alice and KP. You know, you can't talk about one without the other. But let's just talk about Alice by herself for a second. She's been going in and scoring a lot of relic scores on her own. She's been using the tankiness that's embedded into Black Knight, and just all around, if we were to count the possession time of Alice, she's probably had the relic longer than anyone in the entire series. So I'm excited to see her play. I'm excited to see the double tank meta up in play. And let's go on to the next player.
All right. The man who pulled off an unbelievable move in the qualifying match to make it to the finals, Space AIDS. What can you tell us?
Space 8 saved the team earlier from one of the craziest turnarounds just because there was so much hype from their opponents. And I think that if they got that 1 point, it could have been one of those things that turns everything around. He's going to be playing Rollins this game and throughout the finals. Again, it's a 3 out of 5. We could see some crazy mix-ups in action. However, Space 8 all around is an amazing player. I'm excited to see him versus OP. Who is the best Rollins is going to be determined in this fight.
All right, it's a great point. And now we're going to kick it off to the captain of Coke Zero, the Vegas boy, the Voy Boy.
You know, bringing it all together is Voy Boy. This guy has an amazing set of mechanics for any games that he plays. And for the 3 days that we've seen him play Spartacus, it's been back-to-back wins for him and his team. He's going in, of course, he's going in and buying that attack damage, but we're seeing some pretty cool buys from him, whether it's between movement speed or cooldown reduction. And again, thank you, Dave. And I'm excited to see how he brings it all together. And it's going to be closed out by their coach.
None other than Old Rusty Robot, proving out his name, giving out his Belichick status in my book. This guy is all coach all the time. We have a battle of two of some of the best coaches here on Breakaway. Who do you think is going to get it from a coaching standpoint, Rich? You going to give it to Old Rusty Robot, or you going to give it to Belier?
Don't make me do that live on broadcast, David. Regardless, it's going to be fantastic. I know that there's a rivalry between these two. They are amazing players as well as coaches. I just want to give a big thanks for all the participants throughout this entire event as we lead into the finals over here. Guys, please, at home, please let us know who's going to take it, because it's going to be 3 out of 5 between Coca-Cola Zero and Diet Coke. Please tell us who you think is going to take it.
And while you're at it, while you're clicking on there, don't forget to go to the alpha. Let's not forget that. I mean, we are at T-minus 16 minutes till alpha goes live.
Please don't leave the
stream. That is your time. Yeah, don't leave the stream. Just watch it.
Don't
And
be
then,
like that.
you know, But you could download it while you're watching the stream. So while you go to playbreakaway.com, click that giant download button right there. Log in with your Twitch sign-in. If you don't know your Twitch sign-in or you forgot your password, just sign up for a new Twitch account. That's okay. Download Breakaway on the launcher. While it's downloading, watch us on the stream. As we finish this match, we will join you in some awesome Breakaway action.
All right, folks, let's get hype over here. Team Coca-Cola 0 versus Team Diet Coke live over here. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Game 1 of the best of 5 series is a Throwdown Thursday main event. Here we are on the brand new map of Atlantis that you will get to check out in the alpha in just 15 minutes.
All right, let's talk about these crazy buys. Again, I love this crazy buy right here by DM Brandon. A level 2 item on the demo, as we have CD and the third committing to that attack damage. On the other side, we got Voidboy with attack damage as well as Space Aids. I don't know who's gonna take it. Let's watch these buffs because I think that there's a lot of action drawn to that section.
All right, 1 second left to go. 0, there it is. The water wall has fallen as we enter into Atlantis in this Throwdown Thursday main event. DM Brandon doing his signature move, going right after the gold buff. But look at that. Belichick coaching his team, not letting that happen. As you see the Relic just lying there right around midfield. DM Brandon gonna have to get out of there. He's watching out, using that nice hole buster. That's the ultimate ability of the Ann Bonnie character there.
You know, DM Brandon had 3 opponents that he had to deal with. It almost got pushed out of the buff, but
He did get pushed out of the buff.
he did get pushed out of the buff, and for the first time, they lost the gold buff at round 1.
And that's just coaching. That is pure coaching. You know that, you know, old Rusty was watching that match happen just with the Diet Coke and Coke Life. He was saying, man, we can't let Brandon get that buff. And there's the Relic there right by the elevator as some massive actions happening right at the foot of the base. OP does pick up the Relic, throws it in there just to use his barrage against the opponents there as Space Age tries to push it in, does unable to get the Relic into the opposing territory, and now we have OP with the Relic passing it to CDN the third.
OP and CD moving it past that midline, but also securing the space, just destroying buildables. But now, watch as Space Aids and team move in. The thing is, they don't have as much life as the other team, David.
No, they're definitely low on health. It's worth noting that neither team picked a healer, so this will be a pretty interesting when we get to these fights and we start seeing these strategies develop. As General Death taking the high road, he could do it, but he's got to worry about 3 opposing forces. Now all of Coke Zero is there. Look at that nice destruction of the jail buildable. As that circle of spike goes down, we see the aura of silence there. CDN the third throwing off all his abilities to debuff the team on Coke Zero.
I think right now the team just has to slow play it. There was a lot of buildables in the way, but however, OP is on it. And wow, look at this pressure.
That's
Again,
a nice
the
push.
combo.
You
Burden
saw-
of Sin, Circle of Spite.
Here comes the push, but it's unable to do it. You just saw how slow they were moving. CDN third able to take it in with a first blood move for Diet Coke.
We saw multiple dashes with the Relic in hand earlier, and it seems that, you know, CDN was that last line of offense right there. As he takes it over here to the left and dashes it in. Ooh, and you can see Space Ace was so close to defending it, but it was too late before he even saw it.
And you see a battle of the Black Knights there as the top players. What do you see with the kills here?
Right now, kills are looking pretty, you know, really, really close at it. It is 2-1 right now. DM Brandon is going to go into this round with a level 3 demolition. But watch, Voidboy and Space Age really committing to that attack damage.
All right, here we start this round. This is round 2. Again, we'd see this just complete stoppage of the Ann Bonnie character played by DM Brandon. As we see, this could be it. DM Brandon deciding not to go for the bus. Went for it again.
What a
Tosses it. Look
juke!
at that, pulling the Mr. McStabby.
What
Rushing
a
it
juke!
behind. No one knew what was coming.
You know what, I was about to call out to the fact that, you know what, it seems like Diet Coke is losing the buff game, but they almost bluffed that entire play. As we saw the 2-man team of General Death and DM Brandon go in and easily secure that one.
That was amazing. DM Brandon. And again, you got to give it to Coach Belier saying, you know what, let's not worry about that gold buff. Just rush it in because they're going to go all buff. That's definitely, the buff strategy is definitely one that we see old Rusty Robot doing over and over again. He tries to secure those buffs, and this time it was to his detriment. As we start round 3, we'll see what happens now. This could be a sweep for round 1 for Team Diet Coke. They could win the first game here in our best of 5 series. Voidboy with the Relic, taking it to the right side, does get stopped by OP. He's using that retribution against the tankiness that is General Death. General Death now with the Relic in possession. He's jumping all around. Almost tried to throw it up there. Did get hit in the action, though. Fumbled the Relic. As the Relic goes down, we're seeing ultimates getting fired by everyone. You got OP using his barrage. You got CD in the third using Circle of Spite. They do a great job. Look at that. Silence activated there Unbelievable action here. General Death passing it up to DM Brandon. DM Brandon on a push. DM Brandon scoring, and there it is, the sweep of the first game for Diet Coke.
So it's 3-0 right now. Again, it's going to be first and 3. There's a lot of time for both these teams to learn. Are we going to see an upgrade, if you will, from Voyboy and team? I think right there, they just got taken by surprise. There was a mix-up that took place in round 2 that just made it really hard for anybody to come up in the 3rd round to try to challenge them.
That was great coaching, great changing of play style. They took that playbook they had in that last round, they ripped it up and burned it, and they're like, you know what, we're going to throw a completely different strategy, and we saw it pay off in dividends here. Let's give a quick shout out to Anonymous, giving us $100 for charity, saying thanks to everyone involved. Thank you, Anonymous. All you got to do is donate. Click that button at the below our Twitch stream. Donate as much as you can. Could be $1, could be 50 cents, could be $1 million. Coca-Cola will match every donation up to $50,000. The goal is $50,000. If we are able to break that threshold, we will unlock this awesome exclusive Black Knight skin that you will only be able to get if we achieve this goal.
And you'll be able to play it as early as 6 tonight, so please help us get to that point. Let's play this cool Black Knight. And again, you know, all of this is going to a great cause. Gamers coming together to help people in need, and please,
helping children in need, Rich.
Exactly,
It's the Children Miracles Network of Hospitals. Okay, looks like we are about ready to almost start game 2. Let's talk a little bit about what you can also win. If you don't want to do it for charity, you can do it to win this amazing PC that Coca-Cola has created. They have created a monster PC that is cooled by Coca-Cola.
That's right. Okay.
We'll hold on to that. We'll hold that till the end.
Yes, we'll hold that to the end. Let's talk about this awesome Coca-Cola thing. You know, if you guys are looking for more information, hop on to Coke Esports. Oh, Coke Esports on Twitter. You know, check out all the stuff that they have going on for this amazing machine.
Let's look at this thing here. This PC is powered by Coca-Cola. It's got an Intel i7 core processor, an NVIDIA GTX 1080 2-way SLI. All you got to do to win this thing is donate $5 up to $15, buys you 3 entries. Do it for charity. Do it for yourself. Do it for the children. All right, here we go. Game 2 action happening now. We're in position. We're in battle mode now as we see both teams teaming up. Will old Rusty Robot be able to come from behind here after getting really handily defeated there in Game 1?
Who will be crowned the champion right now? Diet Coke is in the lead. Let's see if Coke Zero has what it takes to even it up. Round 1 starts now.
All right, we see CD in the 3rd there doing some hype moves, getting his team riled up. As you see a nice ballista getting placed there. There's the Elder Stone from Morgan Stiffay. She's about to put down the Tome of Frailty. Both of them are in action. And the Diet Coke team was able to take down that gold buff.
You know, everyone going down. Meanwhile, Space Ace is coming in from the back line as he goes in. CD in the 3rd, and DM Brandon only one's in.
He tries to do the long toss. Does get intercepted, though, by DM Brandon, doing nice moves there, clearing the relic bound to midfield. As we see KP there as Thorgrim using that nice shield wall ability there, just providing some extra defensive for herself, as CD in the 3rd is able to take the relic and is starting to do the push down the left side.
You know, David, I can't help but whisper when moments like that pop up. It's almost like I don't want to be the cheating guy that's letting him know that somebody's sneaking in. But that was a really cool play by Space Aids.
And that was interesting there. Space Aids going up the elevator so we get some extra height there so the relic travels a farther distance. That's a nice move there. It doesn't pay off though, as General Death is waiting for it to happen, picks it up and takes the relic back to midfield. We saw some action happening there as Voyboy able to pick up the relic there as Spartacus does a nice pass there to KP, passing it back to Alice, passes it back to KP. They do get stopped there. DM Brandon doesn't fall for the trickery there. You saw that Cone of Silence get activated there. OP now with the relic doing his barrage ability, the ultimate of Rollins. KP falling on top of the relic, does get hit though by OP there playing as Rollins. KP again trying to take the rebound, and now CD in the 3rd has the relic taking it to the left side.
It's all about those fumbles that DM Brandon is just able to force every single time. KP picked up the rebound over and over again, but DM Brandon was on it. There was no more than 1 second that anybody had possession over the relic over at that position.
All right, there's Alice there doing a nice jumping catch of the relic, intercepting it as CD in the 3rd is activating that Circle of Spite. He is a master of the Circle of Spite. Not only is that debuffing the enemies, but it's also slowing them down. As here we go, General Death tried to make a push, did get stopped though by Space Aids using that ultimate ability. We see dueling Rollins using both barrages get activated. We see Coke Zero's almost down. They're down 2 people. CD in the 3rd throws it in, it scores!
You know, it's that mobility. CD in the 3rd has always got his eyes on the prize, just quickly able to pick it up there at the very end, and he still preserved his dash while having relic in hand. I think that was just an amazing sense of understanding of where everybody was at, and he just, again, he played it cool, played patient, and was able to get that first point for his team.
Absolutely, Rich. Here we go, round 2.
All right, let's talk about this. I love it, love it, love it. Demolition Heroic on DM Brandon. Level 3 attack damage on CD in the third. Space Aids level 2 on the other side, and Boy catching up very closely with level 3 in terms of attack damage.
Okay, here we go. DM Brandon making a move there, doing some nice defensive moves as CD in the third is trying to capture the middle field. We've seen this play happen in the previous match against Coke Life, where CD in the third likes to put his moves, both his buildables down there right at the center where the relic gets placed, as KP now with the relic.
And I love what happened right before the camera switch as we saw Boy just going for DM Brandon, which I feel is a good call. Hopefully it was called by old Rusty Robot.
Okay, General Death throws a relic up there, picked up by Space Ace, who gets shot immediately by OP. Uses a nice dash though, but look at that siege engine. Oh!
Alice with a good, good call right there, using the siege engine as far as she did, because she saw that she needed to assist the Rollins.
Space Aids with the relic. He's got Alice there next to him. He decides to change direction, go up the right side now instead of the left. General Death is approaching, as is DM Brandon. General Death picks up the interception. Now it takes the push to going to the left side. General Death deciding he's not sure what he's going to do. Decides to put the relic right in the middle of that circle of spite, that Morgan Le Fay ability there. We saw a nice move by KP as Space Aids uses his ultimate ability, that barrage of Rollins. The shield wall gets fired by KP. General Death taking the relic, going left side now. Now he's deciding to go right side. You got that barrel dropper there from that Rollins buildable. Those are those exploding barrels of TNT. You do not want to be victim to running into those. As CD in the third pushes it back and passes it to General Death, who's fighting at the pitch there with Alice and Space Aids.
Alice activating those thorns and helping her team go on in. Boy, Space Aids, Alice now moving in from the middle.
Here we see Alice doing a nice pass there to Space Aids. Space Aids decides, is he going to pass? Oh, look at that! Alice stuck in jail! The deal they didn't plan that as General Death does a nice overhead chomp and totally melts down the team there. We got 2 people down on Coke Zero. Space Aids is down, Alice is down. What's going to happen here is General Death is now going in for Coke Diet Coke. He does get stopped by Space Aids, who respawns in time. KP fires a Ragnarok just for cool effect. As we see Space Aids hovering around the relic, he decides to pick it up and goes up the right side.
So now Space Ace going in. General Death just making such a significant impact every single time he's playing. Let's see what he does.
General Death again, there you go. He's all over. He is with that relic. He's like a relic magnet. He is staying close to it. He's fighting Space Ace as much as he can. As we see KP jumping in there as Thorgrim. She gets hit though. Alice now with the relic in control, going up right side.
Oh, Pestuel, very low HP Boy, and he is out of the picture. OP now with the return. Taking it back as it's getting chased by Alice. Is she going to be able to get him? No!
Oh, look at that nice double down. Again, an ability of Rollins. You get to use 2 dashes in a row. That's why we call it the double down. Nice job getting a distance, but it's not enough as the Coke Zero team is able to respawn in time and do that last minute defense and now save it for their team. As Alice with the relic using a nice dash to gain ground. Look at that nice avoiding of the Burden of Sin fired by Morgan Le Fay. We're down to 56 seconds. We have the yellow line in effect. You got to cross that relic across that line. If you're the Diet Coke team, you're going to worry about Space Aids and Coke Zero because this guy is the pro of the territory win.
Alice now having position. KP and the entire team. Space Ace now finally going in. Look at this. The fight is so close to the midline, David.
Oh, this could be a team wipe, Rich. We're down to just Space Aids. He's almost down. This could be the team wipe, and there it is.
All right, so there it is. 2 rounds to 0 as the Diet Coke is holding a very, very significant lead against Coke Zero.
All right, we got 3 more donations have popped in. Joseph donated $5. I want to support the children. Thank you. Logan Wilson donates $25. Great cause. Happy to support. Anthony Ninja sub here too. Look at that. And we have X Hero donating $15. Wish I could give more. That's okay. Just give whatever you can. Whatever you can will get matched by Coke up to $50,000. We are trying to break that barrier as we enter into round 3.
Good interception right there just to start off the match. But General Death has just been such an amazing player throughout this entire series. Wow, DM Brandon with the support.
KP with the Thorgrim action there, picking up the relic. DM Brandon doing some great defense. As we see now General Death coming into play. General Death decides to take the high road, going up the elevator to the 2nd floor. He's got those Thorgrim walls he's going to have to deal with. How will he handle this situation?
Oh! Yeah, that was sick. You know what? Mad props.
You get an A for effort there.
You know, Fairlight will soon be releasing a video up on YouTube on how to do that. So make sure to follow him and check out his Fairlight's VOD. He'll teach you how to do it.
All right, Space Aid's there on the other side of the Thorgrim wall, and there's OP picking
I was
up the
gonna be like,
relic.
let me see if
OP doing a nice toss there, but KP, though, with the interception. The relic is in bad position. Nice use of the Ragnarok there to clear the
the
team.
bait.
And using the rib splitter, but no, look at that sneak attack action.
So sneaky.
And there they go. That guy is so sneaky. That's the second time we've seen OP sneakage happening there to win the match for the team.
I'll take that. You know what? OP did an amazing job, and now I feel like Diet Coke can taste it. They can taste the victory in this finals match, as it is 2-0.
This is it, Rich. This is the finals. This is the last. This could be match point. Winner of the Game-a-thon 2016 could be Diet Coke right now. But I gotta give a shout out. We are 1 minute away from the alpha, so I hope you don't leave the channel.
Don't leave.
But you know what? You could do it. The alpha is now almost there.
No, it's live.
Oh, it's live right now. Look at that. 6 o'clock.
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, there you have it, folks. If you're interested in playing the game that you're watching right now on the broadcast, hop on to playbreakaway.com. Grab yourself the client, download, play.
Play
With us
Breakaway.
as soon as we're done.
As soon as we're
I'm
done.
going to hop on and play some games. But
There it is.
Yes, again, so this is going to be starting tonight. It has already started. Please, it'll be throughout the entire weekend. If you want to broadcast, please hit us up on Twitter. Let us know. We want to host everyone and anyone that's playing this game. Again, it's going to be fun. We got to see some of the awesome content today. We haven't seen Victor on the field. However, he is a brand new character that we want to learn more about. So please hit us up with that feedback. And David.
Oh, there, look at that.
There
There's
he
Victor.
is.
You know, it's surprising that we're not going to see him, but I'll tell you, like, we're in the finals here. We're not going to see Victor. We're going to see the same team,
Yes.
the same team comp we've been seeing time again. If you're Diet Coke, you're not changing anything. DM Brandon playing and Bonnie on point. You got OP doing some massive Ninja Rollins moves. Here we go. We're entering into Game 3. Again, this is a best-of-5 series. Will Diet Coke do the clean sweep and send old Rusty Robot back to the junkyard?
All right, folks. I believe that Coke Zero needs your powers. Give your love to KP, Alice, Space Aids, as well as Void Boy, because they're down right now in this what could be final match. All right, so here we are. Look at that. The start. The final match. General Death up. Selecting that armor purchase. On the other side, KP and Alice to a match. Void Boy and Space Aids sticking to their guns and going all in on that attack damage.
All right. Game 3 is upon us. We see a nice use of the ramp there from Void Boy. That buildable from Spartacus. He drops down his flaming catapult as well. As we see the siege engine used there.
And the siege engine was... I'm just shocked. You know what? I'm not... I saw Rollins fall out of there, and it's pretty good so far. Right now, you know, Diet Coke's been doing an amazing job securing that gold buff every single time.
Space Aids tried to get the relic, though. OP came in there. I think you saw us all stunned because we've actually never seen the siege engine used to take a buff crystal. Honestly, I don't even know if that's possible.
Well, you know, it is, David. It's just one of those things where you still have to hit it last. And if you have a character that does a lot of damage, they can actually out DPS something like the barrel and steal it. We just have to make sure that we're calling out the right buffs to the right teams.
All right, we saw Alice
here it is.
doing nice back and forth passes. Alice on a breakaway. Alice, good score, and there it is.
All right, Alice now puts it on the board. Looks like the stream chat gave love, the love that Coke Zero needs. And perhaps old Rusty Robot is digging into the roots for some cool old
he's
strategies.
digging down deep, and he's like, you know what? I just got called out by Silverman. I'm not going to let that fly. I got to show some massive moves here to prove why I am one of the best coaches here on the Breakaway team.
He is, and so is Belier, but all these players have been playing amazing. So, you know, there's no losers here today. Everyone is playing for an awesome cause, and they're playing really, really well.
Absolutely, Rich. There are definitely no losers when you're playing for charity. As you see, a nice anonymous donation come in for $15. Thank you for that. Alice, again, using that siege engine and trying to get that. But we have a Rollins there, and that's a tough one to go against as Void Boy now enters into the mix, using a nice retribution there on the side as we cut over to KP, who has the relic. And will she pass it over? No, she decides to keep it for herself, going left side now. Does pass it to Alice. Alice now gets hit with that barrel, though. You got to watch out for the barrel dropper. Again, that buildable from Rollins. Nice pass back to KP. KP tried to pass it, but no one was around, so it popped right up in the middle of the air. General Death gets into the mix. You have Morgan Le Fay casting that Silk-Grill Spite. Again, that slows your character down. That's why you're seeing Thorgrim in slow motion there. As we see the Relic getting thrown there. Voyboy picking up the rebound, pushing it for his team, using a nice dash to get out of the way. Voyboy could have scored, but did get stopped at the last second as CD in the third uses the dash to clear the Relic out of the way, saving Diet Coke.
You know, KP and Space Ace in the back line, just in case they need to. Doing a great job just collecting all the gold that's there because of the buildables destroyed. Let's see what happens right now, just at the 3-minute mark.
All right, OP midfield, just waiting for his team to get in position. There's that barrel dropper. You got to watch out for that. OP up the right side. OP does get hit, though, by KP. KP trying to throw down there with Thorgrim. You got that Wrecking Hammer you got to watch out for. But look at that. That's the best use of the Siege Engine right there, using it to take out your enemy's buildables. You saw Morgan Le Fay there throwing down that Circle Spite. There she goes using the Aura of Silence. She also fired Burden of Sin where those crows came flying out. Everything was fired there on Morgan Le Fay as we see a nice use of the Ragnarok. But there's DM Brandon. Completely uncontested scores.
You know what? With his own rebound, there was just so much going on over there. It all started with General Death's use of Thorns, grabbing as many people as possible. And again, look at that in the back line. We just saw it as you had CD in the third using the Burden of Sin just to slow any opponent who could potentially force a fumble. Great team play, great score, 1-1 between these two teams. Look at the heroics, David. 4 heroics.
That's a lot of gold for Diet Coke.
A lot of damage. 4 assists on CD in the third. 2 kills from OP. And on the other side, it's not that they're trailing behind because they aren't doing anything too crazy, but the Diet Coke is just getting all the gold on the map all the time.
That was a nice version from DM Brandon there, using that sniper shot ability of Ambani. It's a quick attack ability. She used it to get the extended range to take that last hit and get the gold buff there. As now we see we're at the middle of the field there as General Death trying to take down Space Aids. That's a battle that's probably hard to get since you're fighting against a ranged character. As you see him give up, but decides to take the Relic now up the right side. Look at those defenses there. Thorgrim in action. That's what happens when you do not take those walls. They can just build a giant fortress. But General Death doesn't seem to mind. He takes his own rebound now. Alice with the save. As we see now, we have the OP there with the Relic. He's caught in the bottom. CD in the third throws it in and scores.
And you know, we're getting close to it. Tournament point now on the side of Diet Coke.
And we have one more anonymous donation comes in for $45 for the kids. Thank you so much for that donation. Again, just click the red box underneath this stream here. You will donate to Extra Life, supporting the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. We are trying to raise $50,000, and we are almost there. And Rich, we may be almost done here.
You know what? We're not done over here with Breakaway. And
we
neither
got the
should
L.
you folks. We're going to be playing a whole lot of games throughout this entire week. All right, let's talk about the match at hand right now.
All right, CD in the third, casting that Circle of Spite ability again. That's gonna slow everyone down and make them weaker as DM Brandon decides to pass it. This could be it. This could be the final push, but you got those walls of Thorgrim you're gonna have to deal with. Nice hole buster there, the ultimate of Ambani. DM Brandon, though, does pay the price, but is able somehow to survive with a sliver of life left. As we see again, Circle Spike gets activated by that Morgan Le Fay. She also uses the Aura of Silence. General Death with the Relic decides to throw it upfield with his massive coordination. CD in the third. Will he score for a third time? No! Oh my God! He was caught by his own teammate, scoring it and winning the entire match. Diet Coke with the clean sweep. Give it up for your champions of Game-a-thon 2016. Team Diet Coke!
Team Diet Coke comprised of CD in the third, OP, General Death, and of course DM Brandon winning it again. Congratulations to this team, but thank you very much to all the teams. We got to give props over to the Coke Zero with KP, Alice, Space Ace, as well as Voyboy. They delivered a crazy match. This was an excellent show of skill between these two teams, and I was very excited to kind of cast on this. David, thank you so much. I want to thank all the viewers at home for spending your time with us.
Absolutely.
Not playing the game right now.
No, it's been an honor to be here, Rich.
With the donations.
We're helping with charity, and we're going to do something special. So We are at $38,176. We are almost at that $50,000 threshold. Let's look at DM Brandon. This guy's generated over $10,000. Ian Little donated $10 just now. Hanso Musashi donates $5. This is amazing. Our threshold is $50,000. That is the goal. We are deciding that we're going to extend it because we want to see the community hit this goal.
Okay, I dig it.
So we need $12,000. We are going to extend the promotion here. You have now till the end of Alpha to raise $50,000. These streamers have decided they're going to stay back and stream, trying to raise more money. We are going to see streamers now come into the mix, doing it once more, trying to rally their communities to get $50,000 and unlock that Black Knight skin. I'm joined now by the two dynamic duos. Not only do you guys play incredibly well together, but you have also raised the most amount of money of any other streamers. Give it up for DM Brandon and CDM the Third. How you guys doing?
Am I allowed to curse?
No.
All right, we are effing tryhards.
Yeah, we are.
Great.
Yeah, that's how we're doing.
Now, I got to ask, what is your ability? Like, how are you able to channel this much donations and support from your streamers?
Yelling.
Well,
It's mostly yelling.
It has a lot to do with just the power of giving. People love to give, man. Give is the way to go. 2016, it's the movement.
There it is. I love it.
It's a
Now,
lot of
talk
yelling.
about your breakaway gameplay. Like, you were going for the buffs early on, DM Brandon. You decided to change your strategy up when they countered it. What happened there?
Well, they didn't counter it. The change of strategy was an intent to force them into conditioning.
Oh.
And I'm not going to tell you any more of that because we still have to fight the devs, and that is ridiculous that you're trying to get me to reveal strategies. I see what you're doing. I see that you work here. This guy's out of his mind.
All right. Yeah, that no fighting the dev,
Oh,
that's
I'm
actually not going to happen.
Oh, we're not
but-
fighting the
but
devs?
That's okay. That'll be for another time.
It's
Maybe
sad.
if you guys
We're
are
gonna stream.
able, in the alpha, you'll be able to face the devs.
That's true.
Because one thing that's happening is we are actually going to do a special thing. So every day from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, starting tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, the devs are actually going to play Breakaway
Oh, cool.
right here from the arena. We're going to play random matches. Who knows who we'll get faced with. And if you can beat a dev, maybe there's a special surprise in store for you. So you might have your shot, DM Brandon, of showing off your skills with Ambani. Maybe you can face against Chris Corey.
Gotta take a flight tomorrow.
Well, maybe on
I
Saturday.
gotta go home.
Home to Jersey.
I'm an Atlanta native. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so CDM the Third.
Yes.
It was your birthday yesterday.
Right.
What a great birthday present, winning the whole thing.
I know.
And winning money, so you had over $7,000 for charity,
Right.
so
Well,
good job.
Yeah, not only that, we raised that in about 2.5 hours. So
All right, well, look, you got another, what is
shout
it?
out, big boy shout
Seven-
out to the viewage, man. It wouldn't be possible without them, man. And
All
I know
those
they're
people
home
from
watching.
Nipsylvania
All those
supporting
people
you.
from Nipsylvania, exactly.
All right, well, 72 hours to go. Can we get that extra $12,000 that we need?
Oh,
I know at
without
the
doubt.
forefront it will be both of you. So CDM the Third, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday, DM Brandon. Thank you as well. And thank everybody for watching Breakaway, for CDM the Third, for DM Brandon, for all of our streamers, for Rich, the filthiest of them all. I'm Mr. Sill, and we'll see you guys in the arena right now in the Alpha.